to prove you could become strong without relying on others. You ignored numerous combat classes and chose the most ordinary one, Summoner. You originally wanted to summon a supreme creature and live an easy life, but you didn't expect the first thing you summoned to be the trashiest little black dog. Even your homeroom teacher, Lu Wen, who had high hopes for you, now curses you for wasting his cultivation. Since a summoner relies entirely on their summons, you are now effectively a useless person. However, you have no intention of giving up. After all, as long as you can get into an academy and develop slowly, you can perform a second summons after level 10, and still proclaim that the young should not be underestimated. Looking at the well-behaved black dog on the ground, your earlier sense of loss dissipated slightly. You then patted its little head, and a contract prompt sounded in your mind at that moment. Loyalty, never betray, proceed with life bond. You resolutely chose yes. In a pain akin to having your soul torn apart, you collapsed to the ground screaming. The surrounding classmates thought you couldn't handle the blow, and began to mock you one after another. The class beauty and your girlfriend, Liu Ryan, also walked over. With a hint of apology, she said, "The college entrance exam for an ordinary person like me is just too important. Liu Liang, who is a lancer, has already agreed to team up with me, so I won't be joining you." No problem. Hearing such a simple answer, the explanation she was about to give was suppressed. A feeling of being disregarded rose in her heart, followed by a cold snort. She turned ruthlessly, ready to leave. He's definitely just pretending not to care. Xiaoyan, you didn't do anything wrong. Why be so humble? With his combat power, how does he deserve a beauty like you? However, you ignored the two of them at this moment, because after the life bond was completed, you unexpectedly discovered that the puppy had awakened. The SS deer talent greedy gluttony can swallow everything, turning food into energy, allowing for growth and evolution that ignores limitations. It seems this suffering was not in vain. After all, SS deer talents are too rare. Everyone that appears is highly valued, and the state will even provide escorts for them. But thinking carefully, something felt off. You take care of its daily needs. But in the end, it's the dog that gets stronger. Who exactly is the beneficiary here? It seems I still can't escape the fate of being a manual laborer. Then, you gave him a resounding name, He Ming. After throwing him the last piece of meat in your hand, you noticed the little black dog's attributes were slowly increasing. In a short while, all basic attributes rose by 1 point. This discovery made you secretly shocked. If this were high-energy food, wouldn't he just take off? Immediately after, a warm current surged through your body, and your strength also increased a little bit at this time. It turns out that a portion of the energy gained by the summon is actually fed back to the summoner. It seems that as long as I feed it enough, the summoner and the summon can become strong together. After returning home, your mom also asked, "What class did you get during today's awakening ceremony?" You replied while eating summoner. The next moment, your younger sister, Chun-Li, gave a cry of surprise. "It's a combat class." "Brother, you're amazing." "Quick, let me see your summon." Seeing the light in Chun-Li's eyes, you didn't want to spoil the mood, so you pointed to He Ming behind you. Her excitement came to an abrupt halt. How can it be so small? She took He Ming into her arms, and after playing with him for a while,
He Ming lowered his head aggrievedly,
making a whining sound. After dinner, while you were clearing the dishes, your mom suddenly walked over and took a card from her pocket. "I heard from the neighbors that the exam cutoff rose again this year. There's 35,000 yuan in this card. Go buy some things to prepare for the exam. If it's not enough, I'll go borrow some more." You knew the card contained all the family's savings. Your mom gave you everything without reservation, fearing you would fall behind others during the exam. However, at this moment you indeed needed this money as development capital. So, you accepted the card without being formal. "Thanks, Mom. This is enough, because you must boost your strength before the exam starts. Otherwise, you won't get into any college at all." Moreover, you remembered that there's a cash prize for the top 10 scorers. If you get it, your mom won't have to work so hard. Holding the card, you went to a restaurant run by a lifestyle professional. From there, you bought over 100 pounds of mutated lean meat and fed it all to Ming. He seemed like he could never be full, tearing into it bite like crazy. Meanwhile, his attributes were slowly increasing. Through the feedback, your strength also began to grow. In a short while, Ming's evolution bar was actually full. You immediately chose to evolve. After evolving, his attributes appeared before your eyes. Not only did he awaken 2 skills, but his 4 basic attributes also reached over 50. His appearance also underwent a slight change. It seems that special lean meat indeed has a clear effect. Furthermore, all of your own attributes also increased by 10 points. Now, the 2 of you as a duo fully possess top-tier strength. After resting for a night, early the next morning you rushed to the exam hall. After verifying your information, you arrived at the designated area for No. 2 High School. For this college entrance exam, students from several top-tier high schools were placed together, and the competition was nearly at its peak. Liu Liang, who was incredibly arrogant yesterday and claimed he would lead Liu Ryan into the top 100, was now sweating profusely. Because after his father used connections to inquire yesterday, he learned that the quality of this year's seniors is a bit high. Chantian, why are you even here? Just like the other lifestyle class students, you should just give up, lest you lose face in front of your old classmates. After all, if you don't compete, you can lie to yourself that you never lost.
Hearing this,
Many surrounding students were amused. You turned to look at him, but did not pay him any mind. With the sound of a bell ringing out, 4 bronze gates opened simultaneously. From the gaps in the gates, surges of cold, eerie mist instantly gushed out. All the students, without hesitation, immediately checked the details of the dungeons they were to enter. Why is it that our No. 2 High School was assigned the hardest bone-burying forest? This is one of the dungeons with the highest failure rate. It's over, it's all over. All dungeons have roughly the same difficulty. What's there to complain about? Do you think the exam could be unfair? The monster knowledge and habits we covered before, and how to combine attack styles with the environment. Hurry up and recall them. Subsequently, the recorders for the exam results were distributed. As the bell rang again, the college entrance exam officially began. A girl wearing white armor, with ice blue long hair, was the first to enter the dungeon. Senior Su Lingsu from No. 3 High School actually chose to enter the dungeon alone. She's a long-range mage, without melee protection. Won't there be a problem? She has 5 initial skills. Why do you need to worry? Following the entry of the top students going solo into the dungeon, with just a thought, you even entered the instance alone. After all the students entered the instance, a teacher waved his hand, and 4 water screens appeared. They started to project real-time footage from inside the instance. Suddenly, a flash of white light flickered outside the instance. A student chose to leave voluntarily. The instance is actually made up of examinees from No. 2 High School. All the teachers from No. 2 High exchanged glances, and all lowered their heads. No one said a word. What makes the bone-burying forest different from other instances is that it requires much greater caution. Students with weaker mental endurance simply can't last. Each homeroom teacher was searching for their own students. But when the principal saw a lone boy, he immediately looked puzzled. Does No. 2 High have a student this talented? Wait a minute. Isn't this your student, old Lu? At this moment, Lu Wen didn't know what to say. Tan Sheng was clearly dealt a terrible starting hand. So why not just team up to make the cut? Lu Wen suddenly felt a terrible headache. Old Lu, how did you teach your student? With skills like this, he's going solo? If something goes wrong in this instance, I'm holding you responsible. This really is old Lu's fault. Now all they can do is hope Tiansheng doesn't run into any danger. But of course, what you fear most always happens. Through the water screen projection, you can clearly see a dark green long creature crawling right above you, about to attack. The moment you entered the instance, you saw corpses scattered everywhere, and the light in the forest was very dim. Suddenly, the sound of something dropping echoed. You didn't hesitate for a second, and immediately mimed grasping with your left hand. In a flash, a staff over a meter long appeared, then instantly turned into a longsword. You quickly slashed backward, and a streak of white light instantly sliced through the dark green creature. It was unbelievably fast, and you did it with perfect skill. You successfully killed the venom-tooth worm and gained 5 experience points. The score timer immediately showed a plus 15 increase. You still haven't forgotten the feel of holding a sword. After all, you wielded swords your whole past life, drawing your blade a million times. It was monotonous, but you mastered many power techniques with ease. Isn't this supposed to be a summoner? That reaction speed. Only someone with high agility could pull that off, right? But trying to rely on agility alone to reach 500 points. That's not realistic. Lu Wen couldn't figure it out either. It had only been a day. Why has Tianshan changed so much? After killing the green creature, you set off toward the depths of the forest. Suddenly there was a commotion up ahead, as if countless things were charging your way. Then a group of short, ugly, dark green-skinned creatures appeared in your sight. You recognized goblins immediately. These creatures from your textbooks are vicious by nature. They love to reproduce and will resort to cannibalism when there's no food. There were at least 50 or 60 of them, and if they all swarmed you at once, you'd be dead for sure. You immediately called for Hei Ming, and as a long piercing wolf howl rang out,
Hey Ming.
the icy tree spirit glared at the charging goblins. Sensing their hostility, he shot forward like a sword, and the goblin in the front had its skull shattered instantly. The second row was sent flying, battered and scattered. The goblins quickly drew their weapons to fight back. But to their shock, the weapons that usually worked were completely useless this time. As soon as they hit Hei Ming's back, they cracked apart with a snap. Hei Ming's claws also swiped at their heads, while you waited on the sidelines, looking for finishing blows. As more and more goblins fell, even these low IQ monsters couldn't help but feel an instinctive fear. Panic-stricken, they began to flee in all directions. You told Hei Ming to keep hunting them down, and you headed for the closest goblin? They were destined to become Hei Ming's nourishment. In the spectator stands outside the instance, once people realized you were surrounded by goblins, you instantly drew lots of attention. Most people assumed this senior would get eliminated, but to their surprise, you and your beast sent the goblin horde scattering in panic. The principal was furious by now. How do people evaluate the academy's strength? How could you rank a summon like this as weak? Why don't you explain to me what you call strong, then? Luwen's mind was buzzing. This is nothing like yesterday's tiny puppy. There's only one explanation for this kind of change, and that's a powerful growth trait in the summoned creature. The principal was immediately excited now. Could No. Too High finally have a genius worthy of representing the school? Check his score right now. The female teacher next to him glanced at the scoreboard. His current score is 560 points. He's already ranked first in our school. Even the essay felt unreal, like a dream. His student had only been in there for less than half an hour and was already the top scorer in the entire school. You wiped the blood off your blade as several glowing orbs floated off the goblin corpses and merged into your body. Your level immediately increased to level 2, but your mental points only went up by 5. That's the downside of regular classes. If you had a rare legendary class, you might gain 10 points. The gap will only widen from here. But then you remembered Hei Ming can make up for it by feeding. And instantly you didn't feel so bad. When Hei Ming finished eating the scattered goblin corpses, you called him and said, "Let's do something big." The hunt had now truly begun, because goblins live in groups. If there's a squad of them here, the nest must be nearby too. But after you two walked forward for about 10 minutes, you didn't run into a single monster. Suddenly, several bone spears came flying from a distance, and the previously silent forest began to tremble. More goblins burst out from every direction, screaming wildly, and charging at you with their weapons raised. Your long sword appeared instantly, knocking aside the spears, and you quickly beheaded a goblin with a swift sidestep. You kicked another one flying, sending several goblins tumbling down.
Hey Ming charged into the goblin horde at that moment.
And the battle began, with more and more goblin corpses piling up. From the rear, a dozen goblins with different colors showed up. In the stands, the teachers watching the water screen held their breath. They couldn't believe they saw flame goblins and ice goblins. Is he really going to get taken down here? But then they noticed there was no need to be tense at all. When you noticed their different skin colors, alarms went off in your mind. The goblins all suddenly looked to their leaders for direction, their attacks becoming much more organized. As the flame goblin started to chant, fist-sized fireballs shot toward you, but you dodged them all with just a few swift moves. At the same time, you instantly grabbed the goblin by the neck. You tossed him into the air under his terrified gaze. An incoming fireball. I basically turned into a goblin launcher, throwing goblins one after another like cannonballs, hurling them toward the fiery goblins outside. All the students who saw this were shocked. You can fight like this too? Even homeroom teacher Lu Wen was stunned. This attacking method was definitely not taught in class. At that moment, you knock the fiery goblin dizzy. Whenever they cast a spell, they hit their own kind. If they don't cast, they'll be killed. After some struggle, Haiming flanked them from behind and took each one out. Out of 100 goblins, only a few lonely ones remained. They had no choice but to run away. But this time, you didn't go for total annihilation. You just followed them from a distance, planning to go destroy their base directly. As the goblins crawled into a cave, you thought for a moment, then followed them inside. It was pitch black inside. You couldn't see anything at all. Underfoot, you occasionally stepped on leftover bones. Suddenly, a few small figures lunged at you. You instinctively drew your sword and slashed. The moment the goblin hit the ground, it was already in 2 pieces. Haiming was also nearby, swallowing 2 more. Suddenly, countless flames appeared around a passage corner. The view gradually brightened. Once you could see clearly, your face changed dramatically. You immediately retreated. You saw countless ugly shapes, crawling all over the cave ceiling, bared their teeth, staring forward. In the next instant, they swarmed at you like falling petals. You'd better use your summon skill now. Gigantification. Haiming's body instantly grew to 4 meters tall.
He charged forward, smashing through goblins on the way.
It immediately started raining goblins all around. Haiming took advantage of their dizziness after landing. In his gigantification state, Haiming started clearing out the goblins. And you helped out together. After pushing forward for a while, suddenly a huge roar echoed. A monstrous beast the size of a building slowly stuck out its head, seeing the goblins bringing it food. Yet nearly all of them were wiped out. Its eyes instantly glowed blood red and glared at you. You could feel a blast of fresh wind rush over. You hurriedly checked its stats. It turned out to be the boss troll. Before you could react, it had already charged at you. The ground inside the cave seemed to tremble. But even when facing this terrifying troll, Haiming still charged forward without fear, without a moment's hesitation. His claws landed on the troll first, but only left 4 shallow scratches. The troll roared in fury, and instantly grabbed Haiming's head in rage, then smashed it against the cave wall, and brought his massive body down. Seeing Haiming being pinned, you quickly used the Summoner's Empower skill. The Summoner has 3 skills in total: Summoning, Empower, and Heal. You had never faced such a strong enemy before. This time, you pretty much used every trick up your sleeve. The moment Empower took effect, Haiming flipped the troll over.
In a fierce struggle,
You kept casting Heal during the battle, while looking for any chance to deal the final blow. Finally, you whittled down the troll's HP to just a few hundred. Some students nearby had also heard the commotion. The bosses in Bone Forest are at least level 12. Which team can possibly have such battle power? At this moment, a 3-person team rushed over, thinking they could help and snag some of the loot. But when they arrived, they were all stunned, because the boss was not fighting a whole team, but just you all alone. Right then, you finished off the troll with your sword staff. The HP above the troll's head dropped instantly from 1 to 0. The sword staff in your hand marked you as a summoner. None of the students around dared to interfere. Liu Liang and Liu Ryan were there too. The 2 stared ahead in shock. Who would have thought this little black dog could transform so much in just one day? Just then, another group of 4 came over. It was Zhao Hiang from the honors class. Never thought we had someone this powerful at our school. I see your summoned beast is badly injured. Need our help with some healing. We've got a holy priest with great heals on our team. As soon as he finished, Zhao Hyang got kicked by a cute girl behind him. You looked at them and smiled. No need. Thanking them, you prepared to leave. But as you were leaving, they accidentally saw your scorecard. 5,320 points. Zhao Hyang almost swore out loud. At that moment, Liu Ryan walked over with a flushed face. Just as she arrived, Haiming's blood-red eyes stared at her coldly. Liu Ryan instantly felt frozen to the bone. Her legs buckled uncontrollably. She looked over with pitiful eyes. But you didn't even turn to look at her. You turned and headed back into the cave, letting Haiming keep eating and power up. When Haiming finished off all the monsters, a cocoon of energy wrapped around him. It looked like this evolution far surpassed the last one. But who knows what his power will be like once he emerges? Who knows what kind of combat force he'll have? Sometime later, suddenly, a pair of sharp claws ripped through the light cocoon. Haiming stepped out, even bigger than before. Even his fur was now jet black and gleaming. Even his eyes were blood red now. At the same time, you received a notification. Congrats, your summoned beast has gained the new skill, Intimidation. Congrats on a new talent, Flame. Seeing how insane the power-up was, you were awestruck inside. You quickly opened the stats panel. His base stats had already surpassed 100. Looks like from now on, riding him around, you could reach a speed of 280 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, an announcement started in the dungeon about the college entrance exam timing. Only 1 hour left. Please make your final sprint. After hearing the announcement, you immediately jumped on Haiming, heading straight for the Twisted Tree King's territory. He's the top boss in the Bone Forest area. Before the game shift, he's a Tier 1 Lord class boss. The honors class's female teacher said worriedly, "Isn't this a bit too risky?" That boss is more than twice as strong as the troll in every way. Even the principal frowned at this moment. The black dog's size exploded earlier, so its power definitely got a huge boost. Defeating the Twisted Tree King is a stretch, but the guts to try at least shows some confidence. At that moment, the homeroom teacher looked at Su Lingsu's insanely high score from No. 1 high school, and couldn't help but sigh. To have Tian Shan catch up to her still seems unlikely. More than 7,000 points ahead. The gap is just too big. And with just one skill from her, she wipes out monsters in droves. After a sigh, the homeroom teacher. At this moment, you have just stepped into the territory of the trees. One by one, the massive trees actually begin to awaken. They open their crimson eyes. Simultaneously, several branches instantly thrust toward your face. You quickly draw the sword from your staff, rapidly swinging the sword 5 times in front of you. The trunks are instantly severed, losing their vitality. The shrill screams of the trees come from not far away. Staring at the trees, you charge forward with your sword, stabbing the blade directly into its mouth. Then, with great force, you push the entire blade all the way in. But to your surprise, the tree only widens its eyes. It looks as if it is very astonished. It did not die immediately. This challenges your understanding. The vitality of a level 8 monster is actually this strong. Meanwhile, your hands don't stop. You begin to twist the hilt, twisting it frantically inside the tree's body. Green sap sprays out from the tree's mouth. Under its terrified gaze, the blade tears it in half. Finally, the several meter tall tree falls to the ground, dead. Seeing their kin die a tragic death, the surrounding trees roar and charge forward, preparing to surround you, the unknown intruder. At the same time, the roars wake up the sleeping trees. In the distance, even more thick-bodied fellows rush over. Knowing your own limits, you quickly order Haiming to release flames. As purple flames emerge from Haiming's body,
He charges rapidly toward the swarm of trees ahead.
the moment he touches the group of trees, a terrifying scene unfolds. The purple flames instantly ignite the leaves on the trees. The trunks are also covered in flames, and they continue to spread. No matter how they struggle, the flames do not go out. Instead, they grow larger and larger. You are secretly alarmed seeing this situation. You didn't expect Haiming's flame attribute to be mutated. It is practically the natural enemy of trees. Furthermore, he himself is frantically biting the trees. The opponents can only focus on the flames on their bodies, unable to fight back. After a short while, all trees within a 100-meter radius are ignited by the fire. They transform directly into experience points and merge into your body. You actually level up on the spot. He Ming's attributes also increase once again because of you. Moreover, after the purple flames finish burning, the treants turn into small snakes of energy one by one and return to He Ming's body. It turns out that during the burning process, it continuously refines the target into energy to strengthen itself. It seems that in the future, He Ming won't need to eat monster corpses at all. He can abandon this tedious step. After the surrounding treants are wiped out, you check your score. 7,120 points. There is still a way to go before reaching the scholarship threshold. Suddenly, the ground vibrates slightly. A behemoth is rapidly approaching from a distance. Your right eyelid twitches uncontrollably. You quickly retreat 2 steps. Several branches as thick as arms suddenly burst from the ground, twisting toward you to kill. At the same time, a furious roar echoes out from the darkness in the distance. Over 100 treants reveal themselves, staring intently at you. And behind them stands a towering tree. The boss, Twisted Treant King, has arrived. You quickly call He Ming to get to work. Simultaneously, you cast the gigantification skill. Instantly, He Ming's size expands frantically. At the same time, he spits out a flame tornado from his mouth, flying toward the largest treant boss opposite. Wherever the tornado passes, treants continuously let out wails of pain. You seize the right moment to enter the field and harvest. The Twisted Treant King naturally knows He Ming's strength. Countless branches burst from the ground, directly binding He Ming. But after just a few seconds, he breaks free. After all, his attributes have fully increased after gigantification. The moment he breaks free, he charges toward the treant boss. Simultaneously, the deterrent skill is activated. The Twisted Treant King's face shows a human-like shock. It didn't expect a summoned beast to have such great strength before it can figure it out.
He Ming has already rushed in front of the treant boss.
The golden branches are instantly ignited by the purple flames. It hastily retracts its branches to put out the fire.
Taking advantage of this time, He Ming uses his sharp claws to strike at the treant.
Meanwhile, he completely ignores the attacks from ordinary treants, starting to use a combat style of trading injuries for damage. At this moment, the Twisted Treant King is full of fear. It feels its life being slowly eaten away. It hastily releases a skill, making its own branches and trunk, covered with pale golden patterns. At the same time, the branches become incredibly sharp, rapidly stabbing forward at He Ming. He Ming's flesh is torn open by the stabs. But this further triggers his ferocity. With a roar, he severs over a dozen branches with one claw strike. Simultaneously, the black flames also begin to burn. Under the mutual fierce attacks of the Tree King and He Ming, scars slowly begin to appear on their bodies. But He Ming's look of never giving up until death truly begins to frighten the Tree King. The pitch-black flames continuously consume its body. The golden branches also grow fewer and fewer. Then, the Tree King lets out a roar. The sound resonates through the sky, spreading toward the surroundings. Within thousands of meters, all the trees suddenly jump out of the soil. This gives you a shock. After finally clearing one area, even more have actually arrived. It's simply endless. However, He Ming is exceptionally excited at this moment. Countless purple flames return to his body from all around. Instantly, his attributes surge by a significant margin. He becomes even more tyrannical while attacking. You quickly use strengthening and recovery skills, providing support from the side.
He Ming's status improves again.
In a short while, he beats the Tree King into wailing in pain. At this time, the Tree King cannot help but issue an order. All surrounding treants begin a suicidal attack. He Ming clearly knows he's walking into danger, but he just wants to stall for time. He Ming's purple flames erupt once again, directly igniting all the attacking treants. The firelight shoots straight into the sky. This is seen by other teams in the treant territory. At this moment, Zhao Hiang and his team are also not far from the firelight. I was wondering why the treants disappeared. Someone is actually challenging the treant boss. It couldn't be Tian Sheng fighting the Twisted Treant King, could it? Hearing this, the other members of the team inhale sharply in shock. Although it is hard to believe, except for him, no one else has this kind of strength. Then, Zhao Hiang looks at the team's scoreboard. It shows a total score of 1,700. There are too many treants. He will definitely find it hard to withstand them. The priest nearby, Jiu Fei, hears this, and his eyes widen slightly. You're not saying you want to go help him, are you? The other two people also shake their heads quickly upon seeing this. This won't do. What if he's already done for by the time we get there? Won't we all be eliminated together? But Zhao Hiang analyzes calmly. Tan Shang's summoned creature can solo a troll. Then holding off the twisted Treant King, and stalling for some time should be no problem. We can kill some Treants, and our score will reach 2,000. Even if we give up the dungeon, we can still enter a top-tier academy. After a moment of silence, the others reluctantly agree. Subsequently, the group begins to rush with all their might toward the source of the fire. When Zhao Hiang's group arrives at the Tree King's territory, they see the giant Tree King's entire body covered in purple flames. It is being chased and fleeing for its life. Behind it, it's a large dog covered in purple flames all over its body. It kept lunging and biting at him. Zhao Hiang and the others were left stunned, eyes wide in shock. That's when you finally noticed this group. How did you guys get here? Upon hearing this, Zhao Hiang could only smile wryly. We thought you were in danger, so we came over to help you. Seeing his sincere expression and the score counter on his wrist, you suddenly felt a warmth in your heart. Even though you're not that close to him, he still risked giving up a chance at a top school to come here. Jiu Fei, standing nearby, worried you might overthink it. So he quickly jumped in to explain. Hiang's grandfather used to be the principal at No. 2 High School. Though he's retired now, he still cares deeply about the school. With No. 2 High on the verge of dropping to a second-tier academy, Zhang Hiang thinks only you can hold up the banner and lead everyone forward. That's why we rushed over without wasting a second.
Hearing this,
You felt a bit touched. Then, you generously let them clear the treants nearby that were low on health. Hey Ming will coordinate with you all. Zhao Hiang was a little embarrassed at first, since they rushed over but didn't really help. Instead, they were about to leech EXP. But when he saw the score counter on your wrist, he just couldn't stay calm any longer. 15,000 points. Even the earlier 5,000 points were already impressive enough. Yet, after just an hour, you managed to triple that.
he quickly started leading the squad to clear the monsters.
As you watched the Tree King grow weaker and weaker, you went in for the final strike. When the massive body of the Tree King finally hit the ground, countless EXP fused into your body. You leveled up to level 8. And your score counter went up by another 3,000. Noticing there were still hundreds of treants nearby, you weren't about to let all that EXP go. The nearby treants, seeing their boss fall, all scrambled to escape as fast as they could, but they're really slow. Hey Ming would just run over and tap them, and the flames would catch on immediately. There was no need to do anything yourself. Zhao Hiang and the other three chased after the fleeing treants. To their surprise, the treants were so scared. There's still a little time left until the college entrance exam ends. You still have monsters to slay.
Hearing this,
You shake your head. 20,500 points is already enough. That's definitely first place at No. 2 High School. You've made a fortune in this Gaokao exam dungeon. When the final countdown ends, countless students return to the spacious plaza. Instantly, all the teachers and students cheer to welcome the test takers. At the same time, all the school leaders stand up excitedly. He actually managed to take first place. The principal quickly rushes over with the teachers. Upon seeing the bloodstains on you, he angrily scolds the support standing nearby. Didn't you see he's injured? Hurry up and heal him.
hearing this,
Jiu Fei hurriedly starts casting spells at the side. The principal also quickly runs to stand in front of you. Tian Sheng, do you feel any other discomfort? You shake your head. I'm not feeling any other discomfort. Thank you for caring, principal. When the principal hears this, he nods with satisfaction. He then looks over at the Black Minger. His body is covered in terrifying wounds. Even his fur is stained red. Jiu Fei acts as a healer nearby, doing his best to heal He Ming. Liu Ryan stands off in the distance, looking grim. She was eliminated from the dungeon in just an hour, not even qualifying for Elite Academy. It's all Tiansheng's black pup's fault, with a talent that's strong, and yet he never told her about it. With that thought, Her gaze immediately becomes resentful. Her partner Liu Liang was eliminated from the dungeon and slipped away as soon as he could. He couldn't bring himself to show his face at the exam site. Suddenly, the principal beside you anxiously grabs his phone. Surrounding teachers gather around as well. Soon after, all the teachers turn to look at you. Their expressions are very complicated. You're a bit puzzled. Over 20,000 points during winter. That's still top in the whole province. So why are they looking at me like that? Suddenly, all the school leaders start cheering, and the scene gets chaotic. You see people all start jumping up in excitement. You're a bit overwhelmed. The principal looks at you with immense excitement now. You alone beat out all the province's geniuses. You really made it. Next year, our school will be among the elite. And that's all thanks to you. You're the provincial top scorer.
Hearing this,
You freeze. From when the little black dog first showed up, to when you used your card to buy meat, and all the desperate battles in the dungeon. You really have become the province's top scorer. No doubt about it.
He Ming is terrifyingly strong.
He has no upper limit, and his combat power grows fast in a short time. You could only achieve this because of him. Thinking about this, you can't help looking forward to your next summoned creature. As word spreads rapidly, everyone knows the provincial top scorer is Chen Tiansheng. In an instant, the stands at No. 2 High School erupt with loud cheers. I knew he was that good. He definitely has what it takes to contest for provincial top scorer. I'm becoming a summoner next year too. Being a summoner is just way too cool. Tiansheng, senior, do you still need a girlfriend? A bunch of fangirls blush, looking your way. You can't help but smile. Over on the field of Class 3, things are a bit quiet. Teacher comforts Su Lingshu at her side. But she's not even bothered about the ranking. Instead, she seems curious and looks over. So that's the summoner who beat me. After you get home, your little sister Chen Li rushes over excitedly. She asks you urgently, Bro, are you our province's top scholar this winter? You're a little surprised. How did she know? Was that really you who defeated the whole province with just you and your beast? You pat your little sister's head and nod. You're a bro, that's right. After getting double confirmation, your little sister's breathing turns rapid. She jumps up and down, thrilled. Bro, you're summoned. Creature, let me see it. They all say your summon's really handsome and super strong. You say helplessly, the house is too small. I'll show you outside in a bit. Just then, Mom comes over all smiles, her nose a little red. Looking at Mom, you say, from now on, you don't need to work 2 jobs. We're going to have a comfortable life from now on. Mom nods repeatedly. She then calls everyone over for dinner. Tonight's dishes are ones you haven't seen before. A lot of dishes she never used to buy. Now all served on the table. Suddenly, your phone dings with a message. You see, it's a credit to your bank card. Your heart is pounding with excitement, too. Before you left, you casually mentioned to the principal. And to your surprise, he promised right away that your award money will be arranged today. Even though a principal can't usually coordinate that. When it comes to a top provincial scorer, no one would dare disagree with your request. You know you've truly changed now. Fortunately, He Ming can hunt on his own now, so that 1 million yuan prize money is better to leave at home. From now on, the family doesn't need to pinch pennies anymore. That's what getting stronger is all about. After dinner, your little sister and He Ming play outside, but you still have lingering doubts. Did He Ming's steer talent come from the system? But you've tried summoning many times, and nothing ever happened. Ruling that out, there's only one answer left. Your innate talent is just too terrifying. It's already beyond 3S level, so it simply cannot be detected. Besides being the provincial top scorer, recruiters from top academies will come in person, so you don't have to think about which school to pick. What's urgent right now is your first advancement. You just reached level 10, so you open your status panel right away. Click the class advancement option under your level limit. Advancement requires matching into a random dungeon and completing the trial inside. Only after the quest can you succeed in advancing. The stronger you are, the harder the dungeon you get matched to. But if you complete it exceptionally well, your class's potential can increase too. If you totally clear the dungeon and get the highest rating, Your class might even get promoted to a higher tier. This is one of the few chances to level the playing field. But there are very, very few who ever make it. Moments later, the system finishes matching. You've been teleported to the alternate advancement dungeon. After checking out the dungeon details, you realize there are 10 people in total, and the time limit is 24 hours. You can't return to Blue Star on your own initiative. Right now, you have two choices. Either protect the survivors and eliminate the disaster beast, or help the beast's mother devour everything. Looking at the mission, you start to think, how do you even choose here? Seeing the prompt, you decisively pick to eliminate the disaster beast and protect the survivors. Although helping the mother beast is the easiest option, but the Dark Underlord has to devour to grow. If the mother beast devours everything, what about the Dark Underlord then? Just after finishing the task selection, suddenly there was a commotion not far away. A petite girl was suddenly knocked toward you. At the same time, a disaster beast lunged at her. Just as the girl thought she was about to die, a flash of sword light swept by. The monster in midair was cleaved in two. The girl looked at you, stunned. You noticed he stayed silent, so you proactively reached out to shake hands. Hi, my name is Chan Tiansheng. The little horns on your head are really unique. The girl started to introduce herself too. I'm Lu Yu. Thank you for saving me. Just as you were about to ask about this world, suddenly a voice echoed from the distance. The situation has changed. Everyone, evacuate quickly.
Hearing this,
The girl tensed up. She picked up the longsword on the ground, trying to pull you away. Let's go. But before she could finish, a car suddenly sped toward you. You hurriedly shielded Lu Yu behind you. Gripping your hidden sword in your staff, you blocked the impact. It didn't come to a complete stop until you had retreated several dozen meters. Lu Yu ran over, her face pale with worry. Are you okay? You quickly steadied your breath and energy, shook your head. Then you looked at the strange figure ahead. All four of his limbs were long blades. Lu Yu's expression was grave. That's Blade Demon. We can't run now. An instant later, Blade Demon charged at you. You immediately raised your sword to meet him. Blades and sword clashed with a crisp sound. Blade Demon roared. At the same time, another arm swung at your head. You darted back, evading the attack. Lu Yu, give me your blade.
hearing this,
She instantly tossed the longsword over. You decided to fight with both sword and knife. Blade Demon also swung dual blades at you. After over a dozen exchanges, you actually felt both weapons working together perfectly. Lu Yu covered her mouth. Her face was full of shock. His strength is incredible. He can go head-to-head with Blade Demon without being overwhelmed. Even my sister could never do that. Now you finally found an opening in Blade Demon's defense. Your sharp blade instantly severed one of his arms. Then you beheaded him with another slash. After that, you walked over to Lu Yu and finally began to ask about this world in detail. It turns out this world was invaded by demonic energy not long ago. Humans and animals alike started to mutate.
Although the miasma has thinned out a lot now, it has also caused some strange changes. Even blades and the earth itself can undergo mutation. After understanding the situation here, you casually asked a question. So the horns on your head are caused by the mutation too? Lu Yu nodded slightly. If you don't lose your mind in the miasma, then your willpower can help you resist the mutation, and your strength will gradually increase. As soon as he finished speaking, a dozen people appeared around the corner nearby. Their faces were full of panic. They looked around anxiously. The tall woman in the lead saw Lu Yu and anxiously shouted, "Run!" No sooner had she spoken than the ground started to tremble faintly. Countless mutated beasts appeared before their eyes. Their figures filled the ground and the tall buildings, gradually forming a siege, and they came chasing after. Everyone around fell into despair. Only the tall woman gritted her teeth, ready to lead everyone out. She signaled Lu Xiaoyu to stick close to her, then looked at you with a hint of apology. I am her older sister. My name is Lulu. Sorry for dragging you into this. You didn't mind at all. Instead, you walked toward the mutated beasts, wanting to see just how many of them there were. Seeing this, Lulu urgently shouted, "Don't be so reckless. No one can take on that many mutated beasts alone." Hearing that, you turned and smiled. Who said I'm alone? Besides, they're already surrounded by me. Then you directly cast the summoning spell. Haiming. After space twisted, the over 7-meter tall Haiming appeared, along with a loud cry that echoed across the sky. You fully understood the danger of the mutated beasts, so you activated Haiming's giant form. Then you commanded him into the swarm of beasts. Purple flames quickly spread around. Most mutated beasts didn't last 5 seconds before turning into nutrients and were absorbed by Haiming. When everyone saw this scene, they were stunned. As Lulu marveled, she shouted, "He actually drew the mutated beasts away. We have to take this chance to break out." Then, everyone quickly fled to the front of a commercial building, planning to leave through the back door. At this moment, a bolt of lightning suddenly struck from the sky without warning. A blonde young man holding a book walked out. "My territory is off limits." As soon as he said that, the book glowed with purple light. More bolts of purple lightning suddenly appeared. This sense of danger made your hair stand on end. You jerked backward quickly. A crisp metal clashing sound echoed in the void. A blue-haired woman holding a dagger slowly appeared. Such strong mental strength to even notice me in the heat of battle. You didn't waste any words. Your blade instantly slashed across her slender waist with a direct hit. Strangely, she didn't bleed. Instead, she vanished like a phantom. A few seconds later, she reappeared about 10 meters away. She looked over in horror and shouted, "Are you going to help or not? Am I supposed to, as an assassin, take him head on by myself?" No sooner had she spoken than a blazing figure crashed down from the sky. You raised your sword high and clashed with him. After a few rounds of combat, the man amidst the flames exclaimed, "A summoner? With such strength and speed? Are you really just a summoner?" You didn't answer his question. Instead, you coldly scanned the surroundings. "All of you, come out. No need to hide like rats." As soon as you finished, 4 figures appeared in the void. They all chose task to help the mother beast, making you their enemy. Although the Federation Council stated, no killing is allowed within reincarnation dungeons. Anyone caught will be wanted immediately, except for dungeons with opposing factions. At this time, the man in flames sneered slightly. "Didn't expect anyone would pick. Task 1. Didn't your Daxia teachers tell you? How to increase your survival chances in reincarnation dungeons. Don't talk nonsense with your eyes wide open. All our Daxia knowledge is in the textbooks. He's probably one that slipped through the cracks of education. But today, your second awakening is proof of your talent. You better run. Between completing the task and losing your life, you should know which to choose." One burly man from Huaxia gave his advice. Hearing this, the blue-haired assassin refused to back down. "The more the mother beast eats, the higher our score will be. He didn't pull any punches against us just now. Let's make him the mother beast's food." You narrowed your eyes at them. Have any of you heard this saying? Top hunters often appear as prey. You stared at them. They seemed to find it funny. 1 against several, 1 against 6. Do you really think you have a chance? You wiped blood from your blade calmly and said, "How do you know I'm the only one who chose this mission? Plus, attracting so much attention means I'm confident dealing with you all. I've remembered each of your attitudes just now. Now it's your turn to die." As soon as you finished, a savage roar echoed everywhere. The surrounding flames carried energy, like a flood dragon returning to Haiming's body. In an instant, his size swelled by 8 meters. Most of the miasma around faded away. At the same time, Haiming used his intimidation skill. They all felt a chill run up their spines. Even their hands and feet began to tremble uncontrollably. As the black claw came down, they finally controlled their fear and scattered in all directions. In the end, one unlucky escapee was struck down. Black flames enveloped his body completely. He turned to ash before he could even scream. Upon seeing this, the other 5 broke into a cold sweat. They thought the summoned creature was powerful, but 3 people should have been enough to hold him off. Take down the summoner, and the creature would disappear. But unexpectedly, even the summoner's strength and speed rivaled the blonde youth. He immediately chanted a spell. Thick chains of lightning wrapped around Haiming. "Hurry up and kill him. I can only hold him for 10 seconds. Before he finished, Haiming broke out of the lightning chains directly. At the same time, you cast an enhancement spell. Haiming's power surged again. Seeing this, the five no longer dared to stay, and all began to use their ultimate skills. The blue-haired assassin split into shadows and stabbed at your face rapidly. But suddenly, countless icicles rained down on his head, forcing him to keep retreating and dodging. Who's hiding? Show yourself. An ice-haired girl slowly walked out. Frost crept across the ground. Even the beasts behind her turned into ice sculptures. The burly man tried to stop her. Suddenly, a furious roar came from another direction. It's just my little ones. As her taunt activated, all three instantly turned to attack her. Just as she was about to be overwhelmed, Haiming appeared behind the three of them. And that's the end of Fatty's taunting time. The three who had just regained their senses broke out in a cold sweat. The next second, one was slashed by sharp claws. He was instantly split in two. The remaining two were frozen in place by an intimidation skill. A few seconds later, they both ended up in Haiming's huge jaws. Then Haiming turned and charged at the assassin fighting you. The opponent also noticed the situation. His face changed dramatically. He instantly vanished. He reappeared dozens of meters away. He realized defeat was certain. He turned to flee without looking back. But Haiming kept chasing relentlessly. Purple flames clung to him as if locked on. Meanwhile, freezing air exploded around the area. Buildings and living things it touched turned almost into ice sculptures. The burly man was immediately frozen solid. At this point, only one of the six prey remained. The blonde guy from England looked pale as a sheet. He never expected that in such a favorable situation. Even with a 6-on-3, they'd get completely crushed. He then unleashed a massive lightning storm to cover his escape. You glared at him with murder in your eyes. It's far too late to try and run now. Dodging the lightning with a quick move, you swung your longsword and made him die with regret. At that moment, you glanced back at Luyu and the dozen or so people. They were all badly injured and lying on the ground. Fortunately, no one died. Then you asked him about the location of the Calamity Mother Beast. The Mother Beast stood out from countless Calamity Beasts. Only by eliminating it can you achieve the highest score. It's also a way to help save this world. Up to now, no one has ever killed the Calamity Mother Beast. You don't have to risk your life anymore. You patted its little horn. Don't worry, Haiming will protect me. At this moment, Su Lingsu and the big, tall guy walked over. The first thing he said to you was, "Bro, your summoned creature is insane. Isn't that the top scholar from Dongshan Province? And is this Su Lingsu, the second in Dongshan Province?" Turns out all the students from No 3 Heisei Su Lingsu is not only beautiful, but also kind-hearted. She came from a humble family, yet almost managed to take the province's top spot. People from No 2 Heisei, anyone outside our top scholar, from any other province, are like chickens and dogs compared to us. There's the proof right there.
You and Su Lingsu both facepalm. Who taught them to brag like this? After chatting for a while, the relationship among the three of you became a bit more familiar. You told the two of them about killing the Calamity Beast. The two immediately nodded in agreement. However, when you arrived at the city center, you found the malevolent aura thick like a tangible mist around the tall buildings. This place was far more dangerous than the outer areas. Suddenly, packs of disaster beasts charged at you.
Hey, Ming immediately activated his intimidation skill.
At the same time, his massive body dashed toward the beast-filled street. Right away, purple flames exploded in the middle of the street. You looked at swarms of disaster beasts coming from every direction. Instantly, you realized something was wrong. The demon beast has spotted us. They probably have their own unique way of communication. You swiftly drew the sword from inside your staff and charged at the beasts surging in from the right. Luo Zhuan quickly followed. Su Lingsu quickly swapped in her magic orb. She looked like a goddess. An instant later, a hard ice wall blocked the disaster beasts. Then, sharp ice spikes burst out behind it. Countless disaster beasts let out wails of agony. They fell in rows like harvesting wheat. On the other side, Hei Ming charged through the beast's nest, like a black stone dragon gliding through them. Absolutely unstoppable. The entire street was engulfed in a sea of purple flames. All the disaster beasts were burned to death in seconds. But soon, even more beasts swarmed in. You began to feel increasing pressure. Wounds also started to appear on your body. Hundreds of dead beasts lay at your feet. Not even 1,000th of the whole beast horde. The entire city was estimated to have 1,000,000 disaster beasts. Even if you depleted your stamina, you couldn't possibly kill them all. You decisively ordered He Ming to attack the Chaos Broodmother. Upon hearing your command, He Ming immediately turned and smashed through the ice wall, crashing all the beasts along its path aside, heading straight for the city center where the corruption was thickest. When He Ming was about to reach the center across the bridge, a massive, over 10-meter-long, dark red tentacle suddenly whipped out from the corruption and crashed into him instantly.
He Ming was sent flying backwards.
But when He Ming got up from the rubble, he let out an angry growl. Dark red tentacles writhed around him. Countless eyes stared straight at He Ming. The huge octopus mother seemed to sense danger too. Its body shrank back.
He Ming immediately launched an attack.
The gigantic octopus recoiled even further. Several tentacles lashed out at once.
He Ming dodged when he could.
And when he couldn't, he tore at the tentacles with his claws. Suddenly, a brief lapse in attention, and a dark red tentacle smacked him away. The distance he'd fought so hard to close was instantly widened again. Previously,
He Ming had relied on his condensed power and defense
to overpower enemies up close. But now, facing the giant octopus's tentacles, he couldn't get close at all. As the tentacles whipped toward him again, the terrifying force twisted the ground wildly. It looked like He Ming could be crushed to nothing at any second. But with a furious roar from He Ming, violent purple flames burst out, showing no mercy. That blast finally forced the rampaging tentacles back, borrowing that momentum.
He Ming shot forward in a flash,
choosing to fight for his life. Back at the city center, you struggled to your feet. Your clothes were thoroughly torn. Luo Zhuan wasn't doing much better. His shield was nearly shattered. Blood leaked from all over his body. Only Su Lingsu remained standing intact atop a pillar of ice, thanks to the protection from you and Luo Zhuan.
He kept his eyes tightly shut.
Regaining his mana, Luo Zhuan braced against the pressure in front, protecting all of you behind him. Meanwhile, your brow furrowed slightly. Through the soul contract, you sensed He Ming's life force rapidly fading. He was now trapped in a desperate situation. Suddenly, Su Lingsu opened her ice blue eyes. The 10,000 Frost Memorial activated. The entire world seemed to drop into a freezing pit. Snow and ice transformed into twin dragons 100 meters long, roaring and charging forward. You stared in disbelief at the scene ahead. There had long been rumors that Su Lingsu's hidden class was incredibly powerful. Now, it's clear she lives up to her reputation. Just this one move alone was likely stronger than S-class abilities. This single strike could wipe out most of the disaster beasts. But with more and more beasts continuously pouring into the battlefield, you realized as the battle reached this point, you had to take down the boss to win. You glanced at He Ming's evolution points. Only 30 more needed to max out. You quickly called the two friends and headed straight for the Broodmother's location. Now, only by letting He Ming's sanctuary evolve was there a glimmer of hope. Otherwise, the three of you could never stand against the beast horde. Soon after, you fought through the beasts into the city center. Here, the entire place had been destroyed by He Ming and the giant octopus. Just then, a roar echoed from afar. You all quickly ran toward the corruption. There, you saw He Ming in a weakened state, covered in blood. He let the tentacles lash his body, but did not retreat a single step. Getting close to the Broodmother was the only hope to win. You prepared to lure the disaster beasts over, so He Ming could devour them. Luo Zhuan, you draw the Broodmother's aggro. I'll lure the disaster beasts over. When Luo Zhuan heard this, he immediately shivered. Am I going to die? No, Su will cover for you. Then you ran straight toward He Ming. Luo Zhuan could only grit his teeth and taunt the octopus. Luckily, his level was too low, so it didn't really work. The octopus only glanced at him and casually swung a tentacle in his direction. Luo Zhuan quickly raised his shield against the tentacle. Earth wall. Several yellow stone walls formed instantly. At the same time, Su Lingsu blocked in front of Luo Zhuan with an ice wall. With a bang, The ice wall didn't even last for 1 second. At best, it only delayed for maybe 2 seconds. All told, they blocked about a third of the force. But when the tentacles slammed into Luo Zhuan's shield, he felt as if the world was collapsing. He felt intense pain in his chest, spat out a huge mouthful of blood, and then blacked out. Meanwhile, you led the disaster horde to He Ming's side, so that he could devour them. This would increase his evolution energy points. After reaching He Ming, you immediately cast healing and enhancement spells, allowing He Ming to break free from the tentacles restraining him.
He then quickly charged at the beast horde.
Although the Blood Mother noticed something was wrong, it was already too late. Countless violet flames burst forth among the disaster beasts. The flames carried devouring energy back into He Ming. Seeing that He Ming's evolution points were full, you immediately hit Evolve. A terrifying surge of energy erupted from inside He Ming. A huge pillar of light shot up into the sky. He also acquired a new skill, Swiftness. All his other talents were upgraded from C to B. He also gained a new talent, Diamond Body. His entire body was covered in unbreakable power. All attributes increased by 60 points. When He Ming stared down the giant octopus again, the octopus felt unprecedented terror. It was immediately filled with endless rage. After all, no living thing had ever dared to provoke it like this. All its thick tentacles whipped toward He Ming. But the golden light on He Ming shone brightly, and with only a slight tremor he blocked the attack, and a towering phantom instantly appeared around him. The temperature around you rose rapidly. At this moment, you suddenly feel something grab your foot. You look down and realize it's Luo Zhuan who just woke up. He forces a smile. "Bro, you're incredible. I'm definitely sticking with you." You quickly help him up.
Next,
The three of you watch as the two giant beasts battle each other. You see He Ming raise his sharp claws high. At the same time, the phantom behind him also raises its claws. Several of the octopus's tentacles are instantly severed. Meanwhile, the remaining tentacles lash out wildly, but attacking He Ming does no damage at all, as countless dark energy quickly pours into the octopus's body. The octopus's size suddenly grows much larger. Then all its tentacles twist toward He Ming, as both sides attack each other frantically. Several hours later, countless buildings around you have collapsed. Only He Ming still stands amid the ruins. With his thunderous roar, the dark energy shrouding this world completely vanishes, and the life force of the octopus fades away. All three of you finally relax. The disaster mother beast is eliminated, but there are still thousands of disaster beasts left. This run-through of the quest is definitely going to get a high score. As a notification rings out, you all disappear from where you were. Scoring results. A total of 8,564 disaster beasts eliminated. Successfully killed the disaster mother beast. Protected over 100 survivors in Ningyan City. Congratulations, your score is flawless. Class upgraded to Summoning Swordmaster. Congratulations on learning a class skill. Magic Sword ignores all physical defenses. Only deals damage to souls. Damage intensity is linked to soul power. Looking at the panel that appears before your eyes, you're a little surprised, ignoring the obstruction of physical defense. This kind of skill is insanely powerful. The next second, a half-meter-long magic sword appears before you. You get ready to try it immediately. As you use the skill, you feel your soul power instantly drained. You quickly put the magic sword away. Looks like this skill can only be a trump card. Your soul power simply won't sustain it. After a hearty meal for the second time, you finally regain a bit of energy. After turning on your phone, you see 2 friend requests. Considering our friendship forged through life and death situations, you immediately click agree. Then keep scrolling down. A message from your homeroom teacher Lu Wen also catches your eye. Recruitment mentors from top academies will come to know to high school at 2 p.m. today. Are you ready to come over? After seeing the message, you rush straight to school. As soon as you arrive at the school gate, you see homeroom teacher Lu Wen waiting for you at the entrance. You're finally here. This time, all 5 top academies have sent recruitment mentors for you. You're the only one in our whole No 2 High who gets this treatment. His voice is a bit excited. Principal Lee is also grinning from ear to ear nearby. You walk into the school together. All the students you pass greet you very warmly. Some pretty underclassmen girls even hand you a pink letter right away. This scene makes Lu Wen's face go blank. After arriving at the principal's office, Lu Wen opens his drawer and takes out a dragon-shaped ring. This is a reward from the city government. They watched your college entrance exam video and picked out a sword staff especially for you, a weapon with 2 forms, and a universal tier 5 skill book. Your eyes light up instantly. That ordinary quality sword staff of yours has already been damaged from too many battles. No doubt about it. A weapon is exactly what you need most right now. And that universal tier 5 skill book can actually be mastered by any profession. It's worth at least several million. You open your mental interface to check, and instantly 2 messages appear. One is the skill book. The other is the Tianquan sword staff. After seeing the info, you nod in satisfaction. Very suitable for a summoner. Later on, during the school selection, all 5 academies tried to recruit you. Kingshan Academy goes first. Student Chun, as long as you choose Kingshan Academy, you can pick any resources you want. We'll give you 3 as entrance gifts. The mentor from Belong Academy mocks disdainfully. Just 3? Are you sending him off like a beggar? I think you're questioning the weight of the top scorer from Dongshan. I see you like sword aura. Come to Belong Academy. I'll arrange for a sword expert mentor to coach you one-on-one. Your swordsmanship will definitely reach new heights. Student Chen, you should come to Yangshan Academy. We can bring your mom and sister with you. All living arrangements will be taken care of. Only at Yang Academy. Ji Fei takes a deep breath and starts speaking. If you want to enter Yang with us, I can apply directly to the higher-ups to get you the best summoner materials. Greatly increase your chance at top summons. And for your Black Wolf's growth resources, we'll take care of everything. Everything they just offered, we at Yang can match all of it, including giving you a daughter. Hearing those words, the other 4 all fall silent. After all, there are a lot of prodigies this year. There are more than 10 top scorers with over 20,000 points. If they use up too many resources here, it will be hard to compete with others later. They don't think it's worth it, so the 4 quietly give up. Hearing how much they're willing to offer, you quickly say everything else is fine. Just skip the daughter. At that moment, both the principal and Lu Wen have flushed faces. This sneaky kid really hit the jackpot this time. Who knew after you refused the daughter offer? Mentor Ji Fei looked even happier. Like more mature types? I'm actually available too. She even straightened up as she spoke. Looking at her impressive figure, you don't dare stare. After signing the agreement, you say goodbye to your teachers and go home. 2 days later, your mom takes you to the airport. You board the plane alone for Yang Academy in Zhongshan City. Countless top students are gathered here. From a single glance, even already rising geniuses are everywhere. Many people put away their arrogance. Even senior students at the welcome desk marvel. There are strong people everywhere this year. Geniuses are as common as dogs. And the number 1 student, rumor has it, already broke the highest limit with over 30,000 points. At that moment, 2 girls step out of a private car. They look about 70% alike. People nearby instantly recognize them. They're the top scorers from Chongjiang province. Since they're a team, they both tied for first place. You also step off a private car at that moment. A beautiful upperclassman walks right over. I'll take you to register, freshman. After following her to register, she even helps you arrange your accommodation. She also hands you a phone connected to the Apocalypse system. You can look up a lot of otherwise inaccessible info. After you enter your student ID, the upperclasswoman next to you is stunned. She's never seen anyone with 100,000 credits right when school starts. You could buy an airship with that many credits. Inside the Yang Academy office, Ji Fei is running into trouble. We have enough resources to attract 4 provincial top scorers. But you spent too much on him, wasting Yang's chance to win at the bottom. Just the summoning materials are worth tens of thousands of credits. Requesting any resources is already a top-level offer. And you gave him 100,000 credits. All this far exceeds his value. Even the highest-scoring SS-level prodigy would be tempted by those terms. Have you watched his exam recording? Don't you think that summon of his is growing way too fast? Jiang Wuyu immediately draws a conclusion. You mean the summon has a talent above the estimated S rank? But then she shakes her head. That's absolutely impossible. A mutated summon can't be a top one. If it grew quickly before, it must have sacrificed growth potential for a fast surge in strength. So the farther he goes, the weaker he'll get. But Ji Fei across from her is still smiling. We'll see tomorrow at the freshman tournament. Jiang Wuyu frowns deeply. I really don't approve of your gambler behavior. Once tomorrow's results are out, even if the vice president is your mother, you can't avoid punishment. On your end, you get a message from Ji Fei. Your second batch of summoner materials was approved. If you need anything else, let me know. I'll do my best to get it for you. You feel happy reading the message. This mentor really cares about you and offered such generous terms. Really rare. Though you're grateful, you still ask for any necessary materials. The materials are delivered quickly. Then you prepare for your second summoning. As you start chanting in the void, magic fills the whole room instantly. Something sparkling appears before you in the void. A silver butterfly appears right in front of you. The corner of your mouth twitches. Isn't this just weak, old, sick, or disabled? You quickly open your interface to check. You're nearly floored by what you see. Its stats are actually weaker than Heiming. It set a new record for weakest ever. Then you catch the flying silver butterfly. Testing begins. Loyalty level, 100%. Never betray. Do you want to make a soul bond? As you click confirm, that familiar soul-tearing sensation returns. Soul link complete. Congratulations, your summon has acquired a unique talent. SS level infinite morph god form. Transforming into any shape grants different abilities. Upon hearing this voice, you finally feel relieved. Until Silver Butterfly transformed into your likeness, a dumbfounded voice said, Master. You can't help but grow curious. After a basic understanding, you finally realize how powerful infinite morph god form is. Next, you get ready to test it out. You spend several hundred credits on your phone. Bought a standard set of battle armor. The items arrive soon after. You open the box. Inside are armor parts for each body section. You begin to communicate with Silver Butterfly via your mind. Silver Butterfly nods lightly, transforms into a glowing set of armor. As the armor gradually covers your body, you surprisingly feel no discomfort at all. It's as if the armor is a natural part of your body. Turns out battle armor really is the ultimate romance for men. But the defense is still a bit weak. Apparently sensing your thought, Silver Butterfly's intention immediately comes through. The gist is, armor form can be enhanced by absorbing metals, making it even harder, and transformations won't cause toughness to be lost. When absorbing items, there's a small chance to gain their properties. Just like greed and gluttony, there's no limit. You can't wait to pick up the purchased armor. Let Silver Butterfly fuse with it. It immediately swallowed the armor. Then, you feel Silver Butterfly on your body getting harder. Now, defense is no longer a weakness. Previously, facing powerful attacks meant instant death. Now, that's no longer an issue. As long as you feed Silver Butterfly, you as a summoner can even charge headlong like a brute. Thinking about this, you quickly message Ji Fei. Need metallic materials with special properties. The more the better. Got a quick reply. No problem. Just half an hour later, items arrive. Notification comes through. You see inside the box, all kinds of rare, unique metals. Each one is a valuable resource. The total value is in the tens of millions. And these are military-controlled resources. Ordinary professionals can't buy them at all. Then you start fusing them with Silver Butterfly. Even 10 bags of incense didn't go untouched. Soon after, the armor covering your body becomes extremely hard, and the weight also reaches an astonishing level. 5 tons, but it doesn't affect you at all. But if it lands on the enemy, it's practically a mountain crushing them. Silver Butterfly also gained Wind Force trait when absorbing, greatly increasing lethality. Meanwhile, on your back, there's a weapon that can transform at any time. This is the life armor you imagine. Next morning, bright and early, you go downstairs after washing up, not expecting. You looked over with a bit of surprise. Clearly, they all know you. One of them, a cold-faced man, spoke in a rather dismissive tone. Isn't it just because you got lucky? and ended up with a powerful summoned creature. He's the second strongest in Long's province. Scored 23,000 points on the college entrance exam. So he doesn't respect you, the top scorer in Dongshan. The way he puts it, other people's strong summoned creatures are called luck. But your S-rank talent is considered skill. Another roommate, Maple Leaf, spoke with a slight smile. At that moment, a voice echoed throughout the entire academy. All new students must bring their weapons and equipment and report to Skylark Plaza immediately. Looks like the freshman competition was moved up by half a month. A guy pushed up his glasses and said, Cao Yang, how do you know that? Maple Leaf looked a bit puzzled. In the past few years, the number of mutant beasts outside the city has only increased. Some areas have even been labeled as forbidden zones. Every country is sending forces to the front lines, so there's simply no manpower left to deal with mutant beasts. Maple Leaf frowned tightly. So what you mean is, the Academy wants us to clear out mutant beasts? That's right. Humanity no longer has the time to slowly train talent. Fighting mutant beasts early on isn't like training in a dungeon, where you can just exit when there's danger. The risk of dying is extremely high, but you'll also get stronger much faster. So if you want to play it safe, it's best not to stand out during the competition. Hold your ranking back a little. Then you can refuse to help clear out mutant beasts, and the Academy won't force you. After hearing this, you went silent. Has the situation really gotten this bad? Suddenly, you thought of the world in the reincarnation dungeon, where countless people died in apocalyptic disaster, and only a few survivors barely hung on. Never expected Blue Star would face a similar crisis. Suddenly, the arrogant voice of the cold-faced man came to your ear. Perfect timing for a battle of talents. I'm going to crush you completely. I'll show everyone I deserve the title of top scorer more than you do. Looking at his arrogant expression, you laughed. Alright, let's see who's better. But in the end, I'll be the one to outshine everyone. Because you have to get stronger as soon as possible. Your mom and sister are still waiting for you to protect them. At the same time, new students were gathering at Skylark Plaza. Over a dozen instructors and deans stood on stage to make announcements. Rankings. The top 100 must clear mutant beasts outside the city. Meanwhile, the freshman competition set for half a month later is being held now. You will enter a level 20 to 30 large dungeon, called Rift Canyon. This year's freshman competition will determine future resource allocations. Top 100 instantly get 5,000 credits. Top 50 get 10,000 credits. After the announcement, the dungeon gates slowly opened. A surge of energy filled the area, sweeping across the whole place. Some people's legs began to shake, their lips trembling. Are you kidding me? I haven't even swung my weapon yet. How are we supposed to fight this? At this moment, a tall figure was searching nearby, and soon squeezed through the crowd towards you. You saw Luo Zhuan running over with a young girl. You were a bit surprised.
He said before he wanted to enroll at Skylark just like you.
And he actually made it happen. This is my sister, Luo Ning. My little sister and I are counting on you to look out for us, Brother Chun. Luo Ning, acting super shy, hid behind her brother. I can't team up with you this time. Hearing that, Luo Zhuan instantly panicked. Brother Chan, we definitely won't hold you back. I can tank damage, and Zhao Ning can provide buffs and control. That's not the issue. You sighed, then turned serious. Teaming up with me will be extremely dangerous. I'm not scared. Looking at Luo Ning, he immediately realized, Sis, maybe you should team up with someone else. I want to go with you guys. Luo Ning almost broke into tears. Thinking of your sister's personality, leaving her alone would basically be sending her to her doom. At that, Luo Zhuan felt a little overwhelmed. Seeing this, you sighed helplessly. You sent them an invitation to team up. After all, with your current strength, as long as you're careful, protecting the two of them shouldn't be an issue. Soon, the students started entering the dungeon, but most people chose to go solo. At the top academies, that's pretty common. As white light enveloped you, the three of you entered the dungeon. Rift Canyon covers hundreds of kilometers, with countless passageways, like a massive maze. As soon as you entered, a roar sounded ahead. Luo Zhuan didn't hesitate, immediately raising his large shield, and used taunt. Countless monsters charged out from the darkness. Luo Ning was a bit nervous and rushed to cast a buff. The monster's movements clearly stalled. The colors around you quickly faded, changing into a gray field. With a thought, a silver butterfly appeared in a flash of white light, then gently landed on your finger. Suddenly, a bright glow erupted. Your whole body was covered in silver battle armor. After tossing the celestial sword staff to Luo Ning, you drew the broadsword from your back and instantly appeared in front of the monsters. You swung the celestial sword, slicing through them like cutting tofu. Without slowing down, you became a blur and cut through them in the blink of an eye. None of the monsters even reacted before collapsing to the ground. Witnessing this, Luo Zhuan shouted in excitement, "That was awesome. Bro!" The joy of having a powerful carry on the team. He finally understood. Luo Ning also let out a long sigh of relief. Meanwhile, the instructors watching from outside were shocked. That kind of speed and damage is almost on par with hidden melee classes. But isn't he a summoner? Something doesn't add up. Those stats are really strange. Even if he was flawless in his first class change and got promoted, he shouldn't have melee abilities like this. That's when a mentor thought carefully. I think it might be due to that silver butterfly. It's Chan Qiansheng's second summoned creature. Hearing that, everyone looked stunned. It can actually become a weapon? No summoning beast like that has ever been seen before. Even the experienced Dean was slightly surprised. Meanwhile, Jifei, off to the side, simply smirked. At the same time, you gained a rough sense of your strength. You can one-shot all these level 20 monsters. You've already hit the peak of your second class. Even if you can't beat the third class, you can at least walk out unharmed. Feeling out this colorless domain, you were a bit surprised. There's a constant wave of negative emotions here that just keeps trying to break your will. Zhao Ning closed the domain quickly. Seeing you freeze up, worried you were affected, Luo Zhuan called out anxiously. Luo Ning looked panicked. My mind suddenly went blank. Don't worry. I'm fine. You stepped out of the gray zone in the blink of an eye. Your expression was calm, not the least bit affected. Sorry, I got so anxious I forgot how to control it. Luo Ning's voice was tense. He knew he'd done something wrong, but you didn't blame him. You just suddenly understood why their parents approved. Luo Zhuan brought his little sister. Their talent can't be controlled freely. Shy and insecure by nature, probably no one would want to team up with him. You smiled, trying to comfort him.
It's okay.
You glance at the tracker. You guys have only gotten 120 points so far. That pace is obviously a little slow. If you want to get stronger quickly, you have to get first place, so you can get special resources from the academy. Whether it's Silver Butterfly or Heiming, they both require lots of goldstone materials and energy. That way, they can grow freely without limits. Stopping there, you focused your mind.
Hey Ming appeared instantly.
After a deep roar, his giant form instantly grew to over 100 meters. His whole body was covered in jet black flames. After picking a direction,
Hey Ming dashed straight out.
his figure vanished from sight in an instant. Not long after, your wrist tracker kept popping up with messages about gained points. The points were rising rapidly. That's because He Ming's regular strength is at the 3rd transformation level. When he grows, he can even take on 4 transformations. That's why you told him not to hold back. He clears out opponents way faster now. Let's go too. You headed down another path, planning to rack up points from both sides.
In just 2 minutes.
He Ming had already run over 10 kilometers. Every monster along the way was consumed by the flames. Their energy flew back into his body. He was also growing larger by the millimeter. In the distance, 5 variant students were struggling to hold back a swarm of giant spiders. Suddenly, they felt the ground trembling beneath their feet. A wave of scorching heat came with it.
Hey Ming, now over 100 meters tall, charged past.
The flames along the path engulfed the giant spiders, burning them to death instantly. In just a few seconds, the corpses turned to ash. The energy-laden flames consumed every last bit, then shot instantly toward the now distant He Ming. Witnessing all this, on the other side, the top scholar girl leaps high into the air, commanding the thunder dragon to strike down upon countless monsters below. At the instant the lightning explodes, all the monsters are annihilated. The girl still looks unsatisfied. These weaklings are no challenge at all. Watching his sister act up again, Luo Lan looks helpless. He regrets ever agreeing to let her master this skill. Blazing Battle. The side effects of this Tier 7 skill are just too much. They are the top scholar twins from the very first day of enrollment. Originally, Luo Hongying was just a bit combative, but now it's become an obsession. Thinking of this, Luo Lan can't help but worry. Will my sister become violent at home in the future? Just as these thoughts drift through his mind, suddenly a chilling aura and intense heat approach simultaneously. Before he can react,
He sees Luo Hongying's face turn serious.
she suddenly steps forward. Her burning gaze brims with fighting spirit. Fierce lightning instantly surges onto her spear, facing the oncoming giant flame Volf. Just locking eyes with its vertical pupils nearly shatters his mind. However, a smirk pulls at the corners of Luo Hongying's beautiful face, and she reveals a kind of madness. Now this is interesting. Watching his fearless sister charge ahead, Luo Lan habitually casts buffs on her, with multiple enhancements. Luo Hongying's combat power is instantly doubled. She could already fight above her level. Now she's even more unstoppable. A lightning dragon over 10 meters long bursts from her spear. When the two sides collide, the powerful force directly stirs up a shockwave. Seeing the golden light shimmer and Heiming completely unharmed, Luo Hongying's face stiffens. The fighting spirit in her eyes fades, replaced now by disbelief. That strike had the power of a third stage. How could this black Volf not be hurt at all? Ming stares coldly at the person at his feet, attacking him for no reason. His claws swipe down in an instant. A crisp crack echoes. Under that terrifying strength, 3 protective barriers shatter instantly. Luo Hongying is startled and hurries to block with her spear, but she is still knocked flying in a flash, slamming into the ground dozens of meters away. Luo Lan's expression dramatically changes. He moves his mind, and as his hands clasp together, a sacred figure dozens of meters tall slowly appears. 3 pairs of white wings spread from its back. SS Dear Talent, Angel's Blessing. A golden shield instantly rises up, enveloping both of them. Luo Lan feels his mental strength draining like a gaping wound. Rapidly slipping away, he immediately shouts, "Sis, hurry and leave the instance." Before he can finish,
Ming, already upon them, lifts his claws
and tears through the golden barrier in an instant. He gives the two only a cold glance, then walks past them unhurriedly. Seeing this scene, Luo Lan is left dumbfounded. Even the struggling Luo Hongying is frozen in shock. Outside the instance, it is dead silent. All the instructors, including the headmaster and many upperclassmen present to watch, are all utterly speechless. Looking at the smug Ji Fei, Jiang Wuyu is stunned. Isn't this strength way beyond the second stage? The Luo Hongying twins both possess S-grade talents and hidden classes. They're at the very top in all of the Grey Xia Federation. Yet, just like that, they're completely crushed by Chen Tian's summoned beast. Over the next 10 hours, Ming never stops for a second. He moves through the canyon, slaughters over 10,000 monsters, even takes down several Stage 3 bosses, grows 33 meters larger, and his stats increase by 27 points. But as it goes on, he needs more energy to keep growing. However, once his stats break 100, each extra point has a bigger effect than before. At this moment, you actually feel quite satisfied. After all, this is still just half a day's haul. That's already crazy impressive. It's just slower than before. But it's normal to hit a bottleneck later on. There are no exceptions. Just then, Luo Zhuan looks excited. Brother Chun, we just leveled up 6 times straight. It's the first time he's ever found leveling so easy. Luo Ni is also quite happy. Aside from her usual nervousness and fear, her gray eyes now show excitement. Different emotions in her gray eyes beyond the usual apprehension. You glance at the recorder with a smile. Points have already reached 34,000. You quietly make a mental connection, and your silver battle armor disappears in an instant, turning into silver butterflies that land on your shoulders. Not far away, Ming flops to the ground exhausted. He's just finished a complete sweep. After 10 straight hours of intense battle, he's completely worn out. If his physique attribute weren't so high, He wouldn't be able to withstand the massive burden of gigantification. Luo Zhuan looks at Heiming, feeling a bit bad for him. Brother Chun, is he alright? You shake your head and cast a healing spell. Soon the instance's time limit arrives. White light envelops you all, teleporting you back to Lark Square. Countless gasps and heated stares turn toward you. Then the headmaster's secretary shouts on stage. Alright, let me announce the point rankings for all students. First place, Chan Tiansheng, 34,500 points.
Hearing this,
All the students are stunned, because after that the scores drop off a cliff. Second is Maple Leaf, only 13,000 points. That's impossible. The cold man can't believe it. Did something go wrong with the rankings? He's not the only one. Many around them also think it's bizarre. Chan Tiansheng's score might be overpowered, fine. But how come the others, even the two top scholars, have such low scores? Apparently seeing everyone's confusion, the secretary on stage explains. The black wolf you all encountered was actually Chan Tiansheng's summoned beast. Many got seriously injured trying to stop it, so too much time was wasted. That's why there's such a huge gap. Suddenly everyone is even more shocked, since Heiming basically swept through the entire canyon. Most people ran into him, but never mind getting in his way. They didn't even dare to move. Only a handful of top prodigies confident in themselves tried blocking this fake boss, and were unsurprisingly swatted aside. Some 10+ students glare resentfully at you, because they were the victims. Maple Leaf is dumbfounded. He really doubts his ranking. There are at least 3 people here stronger than him. There's simply no way he should be second. At this moment, Maple Leaf suspects everyone else is acting. Just thinking about it gives him chills. He feels icy all over. Elsewhere, after hearing the secretary's explanation, Luo Hongying stares at you without hiding it. Luo Lan quickly tries to calm her. Sister, we acted before figuring out the situation. It's not his fault.
I know.
Luo Hongying nods and looks away. Seeing this, Luo Lan breathes a sigh of relief. He really doesn't want a little misunderstanding to turn them into enemies. That summoned creature casually swiped a claw and instantly shredded the angelic apparition protecting him. It left an indelible shadow in his heart. On the platform, the vice secretary began to speak. The freshman competition is now over. The rankings on the list will determine your class assignments for tomorrow. You are now dismissed. You only realized after returning to your dorm that the second batch of materials had already arrived, and it was delivered by the aloof man Li Zhongfeng. This indirectly showed that he had yielded. After you smiled and thanked him, you headed into your room. You opened the box. There were noticeably more rare crystals this time than the last 2 deliveries. It seems the Academy pulled together everything they could allocate. Since you already chose to be a frontline summoner, you have no choice but to pile up resources to strengthen yourself. A dozen minutes later, all the golden stones were fused by Silver Butterfly. Its hardness has also reached a level that even third-tier professionals can't break through. The weight has also risen to 30 tons, but you still feel nothing while wearing it. At the same time, its sharpness got another upgrade. Just then, you received a message on your phone. The 50,000 credit reward for freshman assessment first place has arrived in your account. After that, you chose to upgrade Black Name. You bought dozens of fruit-type resources. Very soon, the materials were all delivered. After Black Name absorbed everything, its normal form size could now reach 40 meters. In solidification form, it's even more terrifying than before. Its life level also reached that of an ultimate summoned creature. The advantage is that future attribute upgrades will double. Early the next morning, you got up and washed up. The other 3 in your dorm were already waiting downstairs. Since everyone was assigned to Class 1, you all planned to go to class together. On the way, Luo Zhuan and Luo Ning also joined you. Both of them were assigned to Class 1 too. The dorm area isn't far from the classroom. When you arrived at the classroom, you chose a window seat and sat down. Suddenly, 2 incredibly beautiful twins walked in from the door. They caught the attention of many students along the way. After glancing around for a moment, Luo Hongying pulled her sister and sat right in front of you. Maple Leaf saw this scene, and his eyes instantly filled with envy. Chun Tan's natural charm is really that strong. He almost got both girls by his side. After all, the sisters are powerful. At this moment, the handsome Ji Fei also walked into the classroom. After scanning the class with his eyes, he spoke solemnly. My name is Ji Fei. I will be your homeroom teacher from now on. There's another important matter I need to inform you about. You are all geniuses from various provinces. You deserve the best resources and gradual cultivation. But unfortunately, the situation has changed. Our front lines are now on the verge of collapse. So you can no longer continue your peaceful classes at Skylark Academy. Everyone gasped in shock. Society had seemed so stable and orderly. Even the entertainment industry was starting to develop and thrive. Why suddenly say a disaster is about to hit? Ji Fei then began to explain. Have you noticed? In our society, you hardly ever see anyone above the 5th rank anymore. That's because they all went to the front lines without hesitation, which is the only reason we enjoy peace in the rear. Now the numbers of mutant beasts are also growing larger. If we don't contain them soon, the alien races will launch their all-out attack ahead of schedule. Now is the time when we are needed to step up. All academies will send their top talents to military bases to carry out mutant beast elimination operations. So those who are willing to head to the military base for missions, please stand up now. Upon hearing this, the students gradually stood up one after another. Scanning the group, Ji Fei nodded in satisfaction. With a grand gesture, he led everyone to the military base. Unexpectedly, a chubby student still sitting down spoke up, dissatisfied. Wait a minute. Are those of us who didn't stand up still being sent as well? He'd almost died at the Rift Canyon before, and never wanted to experience that terror again. But Ji Fei just glanced at him coldly. Anyone unwilling can leave Skylark Academy now. He then led everyone to the school entrance. A convoy of buses was already waiting outside the gate. Everyone boarded the bus and headed to the military base. 9 hours later, you arrived at Hengshan Base. A group of Special Forces soldiers stood at the entrance, awaiting your arrival. Then, Ji Fei took everyone to the Mission Assignment Center. A female team member distributed black wristbands to everyone. The wristbands looked similar to the recorders used during college entrance exams, but now had task and map display functions as well. After tapping for a moment, the wristband played an audio message. Number 21, happy to serve you. For this mutant beast elimination operation, each student must accept at least one mission every day. You have not yet reached your daily quota. Please accept a task as soon as possible. Upon hearing this, you began to think. There are tens of thousands of mutant beasts ranging from level 10 to 30, scattered along the thousands of kilometers of the Balian Mountains' outer perimeter. Going deeper, you'll find level 40 to 50 mutant beast territory. Since the Black Underworld can unleash about 4th rank power, it's safer to take on regular 3rd rank tasks. You then selected 3 missions. Eliminate the rampaging black ape 200 kilometers away, the dual-fanged giant tiger, and the blood-scale giant crocodile. These 3 missions are relatively close, so you can save travel time. Plus, mutant beasts are territorial, so it's unlikely you'll come up empty-handed. At the same time, there are also over 1,000 drones hovering over the mountains surveilling, meaning the military base is fully prepared. For extra safety, everyone performing missions can receive 3 high-explosive grenades. After receiving them, you headed straight to your mission location. The female soldier at the platform looked at you with surprise. Taking on 3 missions requires 3rd rank power to complete safely. That's pretty impressive ability. But you look just like a freshman. Worry appeared on the female soldier's face. 2 hours later, you arrived at your destination. But the people at headquarters looked extremely tense. Through drone surveillance, they realized your route was off. Check quickly. Which tasks did he accept? The middle-aged man in a major general's uniform said in a deep voice, "Track him!" The woman on the screen checked, her tone filled with shock. Eliminate the level 33 rampaging black ape and level 36 dual-fanged giant tiger, and level 39 blood-scale giant crocodile. All of these tasks require 3rd rank strength. The last one is almost a 4th rank difficulty. Is he crazy? Major General Yang Zhao felt a headache coming on. Looking at the list the teachers submitted, he couldn't help but twitch his lips. So this is Yongquan Academy's top freshman of the year. Daring to take on missions meant for third-rank professionals at just level 16. You have to understand, mutant beasts, like humans, have innate talents too. They're generally much fiercer than monsters found in dungeons. Everyone else chooses tasks weaker than themselves as their targets, but he just went ahead and took on mutant beast tasks over 20 levels higher than himself. That's basically a suicide mission. He immediately gave the order. Send 4 armed helicopters to his vicinity. If there's any danger, start the rescue operation immediately. On screen, you zipped through the mountains, clad in gleaming silver armor, and Yang Zhao let out a long sigh. Compared to the other bases, it looks like Hengshan base might be falling behind. From afar, terrifying noises could be heard from time to time. Suddenly, your smart wristband alerted you. Attention! You have entered the territory of the target rampaging black ape. The next moment, a massive ferocious green snake lunged out from the darkness, crashing through the bushes ahead, and charged at you. It was a full 4 meters long. The thick serpent opened wide its sharp fangs and lunged to bite you viciously. You reacted instantly, grabbing its fangs with both hands, and wrenched with all your strength. The serpent's fangs immediately cracked, then snapped off completely. The giant snake let out a pain-filled roar. At that moment, you each took a high explosive grenade in hand and precisely hurled them into its open mouth. Moments later, 2 earth-shaking explosions thundered from the serpent's throat, blowing it open instantly. Billows of scorched black smoke flowed out. A mutant beast, nearly level 30, has incredible vitality after all. Yet it still wasn't dead. You stayed calm and punched the serpent directly. Its skull shattered completely on impact. But you still didn't stop, slamming your fist down relentlessly, until the snake's body was utterly motionless. This brutal scene, which the command post watched clearly through the drone, left the room in total silence. The female officer's face was filled with shock. He's a total monster. He's only level 16. Yet he just overpowered a level 29 giant python. Everyone else could barely believe their eyes. Yang Zhao bowed his head, staring repeatedly at the profile in his hand, unable to figure it out no matter how hard he tried. With a 13-level difference, he could still completely overpower his opponent. What kind of monster is he? The scene shifts. A giant leopard ape, at least 50 meters tall, its muscles bulging everywhere, covered in thick black fur, suddenly leaped down from halfway up the mountain. The ground trembled at its landing. The commotion from your fight had awakened it, and now enraged, it charged straight toward your location. Inside the command center, Yang Zhao shook his head, already holding the walkie-talkie. If anything unfavorable happens on your side, 4 armed helicopters will be sent to support immediately. The next second, a massive black shadow dives at you from above. You are fearless. You draw the combat saber from your back and slash forward. A shockwave instantly spreads out. The ground beneath your feet cracks open. Your feet sink down. The black ape's attacks are completely blocked by the butterfly armor. You don't even feel a bit of the impact. The black ape roars again. Its palm slams down immediately. The wild wind it creates sweeps all around and in the swirling dust. The black ape swings its combat saber down from above. The blade flashes like a glow through the air, instantly slashing the back of the black ape's head. Didn't expect the black ape's hide to be so tough. It only leaves a shallow wound. You decide not to delay any longer. You prepare to use your trump card and end this. A red blade, half real, half illusory, a completely transparent longsword, floats above your hand. The blade is inscribed with indecipherable, white patterns. As you sense it, your mental energy is instantly drained. You can't help but feel your mind go numb. It's first time on stage. Let's see how powerful you are. You slowly raise your hand. The black ape instantly bristles in fear. It feels a chill run through its brain, as if threatened by something invisible. The black ape lets out a furious roar, its eyes filled with brutality. The massive figure lunges at you. Seeing this, you grip your magic sword and slash through the void. A single strike shatters the black ape's mind. With no warning at all, Its huge body collapses right in front of you, under the magic sword. Even if its body is still alive, it's useless, because its spirit has already shattered and died. At this moment, on the nearby armed helicopter providing air support, several soldiers exchange looks. One holding the walkie-talkie asks, "Do they even need us?" On the other side, it's as if the mute button was pressed on the entire command center. Everyone stares blankly at the screen. Yang Zhao pondered for a moment. He immediately realized this must be a psychic trauma attack. What truly surprised him was your terrifying combat power. You actually managed to cross an 18-level gap. Even the tough berserk black ape couldn't touch you. At this moment, Yang Zhao's face showed delight.
He must make you grow quickly.
Can't let anything happen halfway. Yang Zhao immediately walked out of the command center. After arriving at a discreet little room, he activated multiple layers of secret formations, then carefully pulled out a jade talisman. Brother Zhang, the Hengshan military base found a prodigy. He's a little too fierce. You're badly injured now. Afraid you won't be able to protect him.
He waited about half an hour.
A response came from the jade talisman. Be specific. How strong exactly? Yang Xiao thought for a bit. Just a few moves. If we teamed up, he could slam our heads to the ground. The jade talisman was silent for a moment. That's incredible. I figure all of humanity can't keep him safe. He'll probably be assassinated by an alien race. Yang Zhao felt a little helpless. He can crush me with one hand. But facing Brother Zhang, hard to say. The jade talisman immediately replied, "Got it. I'll discuss this with the other thrones." After hearing this, Yang Zhao put away the jade talisman, quietly returned to the command center, silently hoped everything would go smoothly. Meanwhile, you walked over to the giant serpent's corpse. Found a completely red crystal. Next was Black Eye. You willed your mind. Summoned the 40-meter-tall Black Hades. Let him devour both mutant beast corpses. Soon your evolution points increased by 0.2. But you're still far from over 1,200. So you started guessing. Maybe only devouring living. Creatures can convert to evolution points. You thought for a second, then took from your hand all the life crystals you had previously dug up. Threw them all into Black Hades' dark flames. As the life crystals melted, Black Hades' evolution points instantly increased by 10. Your eyes lit up. This means there's now a fast way to gain evolution points. You opened the map, looked at yourself, slowly said, "The next mission target." A few minutes later, accompanied by a roar, a giant tiger with a body over 30 meters and long, sharp fangs rushed at you. But before it could attack, Black Hades' vertical pupils glared. The giant tiger froze in terror under Black Hades' intimidation. Suddenly the ground exploded. Black Hades instantly appeared before the giant tiger. Its sharp claws shot out. The tiger was swatted into the air. But before it could recover from intense pain, Black Hades was already standing in front of it again. Dark flames clung to the black light. Seeing this, the giant tiger immediately tried to escape. But in terms of speed, it was no match for Black Hades. Quickly overtaken, under Black Hades' savage tearing and biting. In just a few seconds, the giant tiger was completely consumed by dark flames. Not even bones remained. This brutal scene was transmitted to the command center by drone. Everyone felt a bit scared. At this moment, Yang Zhao suddenly realized, turns out he really is a summoner. Yang Zhao laughed bitterly, feeling deeply impressed by the newcomer surpassing the old. Two prodigies. The female officer next to him looked shocked. He might actually complete all 3 tasks. After hearing this, everyone showed admiration. At this moment, Black Hades carried you swiftly through the mountains. Here was already territory of mutant beasts above level 30. By a lake hundreds of meters deep, covered in blood-red scales, a giant crocodile over 100 meters long was resting with its eyes closed. Suddenly it sensed something. Its blood-red eyes shot open. Then it opened its massive mouth. A roar, almost like a challenge. Black Hades bared its sharp fangs instantly. A terrifyingly violent aura erupted from its body. The next second, its size grew rapidly, soon reaching 160 meters tall. It felt an invisible pressure. A giant crocodile rushed over angrily. You immediately retreated dozens of meters. Black Hades was cloaked in dark flames. A ring slowly rose from its skin and fur. The golden light signified unshakable power. The giant crocodile opened its mouth wide, bit Black Hades' golden light, but couldn't close its jaws at all. Grinding sounds echoed. Black Hades raised its claws and slammed down hard. The giant crocodile roared fiercely. It whipped its thick tail, creating a ferocious gust while lashing at Black Hades. 4 deep long grooves were plowed into the ground instantly. Black Hades took it with full strength. The crocodile followed up immediately, bit Black Hades' neck, and dragged him into the nearby lake. A few seconds later, waves soared from the lake. The dark flames on Black Hades' body were unaffected. Instead, the lake water around boiled under the intense heat. Temperature kept rising. The giant crocodile was completely suppressed. Despite using all its strength, it couldn't cause any damage. After just a few minutes, a giant black wolf emerged from the lake. Its forelegs grabbed the land as it climbed ashore. It shook off its body. The dark flames instantly dried the water droplets on its fur. Slowly walked toward you. The command center erupted in excitement and cheers. Yan Zhao also smiled slightly. He really won and finished all 3 missions. By the lake, you and Black Hades stood tall in the wind. At this moment, your wristwatch beeped. All missions completed. You can return to the military base's collection point to submit. You looked up at the sky. It's been a long time since you set out. After carefully searching the map route for a while, you rode Black Hades back to the base. By the time you returned to Hengshen base, it was already 1 a.m. Although, many students who took outside missions were already back. But when you approached the mission desk, the female soldier in charge stared wide-eyed. She couldn't believe it as she looked at you. After verifying the footage, she shakily calculated the astonishing number 100. Contribution points came up soon after you left. Your name appeared prominently on the base's big screen. Chan Tiansheng, freshman at Lark Academy. Student contribution points 100. All the students in the hall erupted. For reference, many sophomore girls only have double-digit contribution points. As a freshman, you actually completed missions 2 ranks above your level. Some even suspected the leaderboard malfunctioned. Meanwhile, at the Luoxiang base, instructor Feng Yi also noticed your name. He naturally remembered you, the champion he failed to recruit. Tutors around him doubted, assuming upperclassmen helped you boost points. After all, while this isn't allowed, it's the only explanation that makes sense. Right at that moment, the one who awakened, SS-level talent, Zhao Yangsu walked over. He confidently reported his achievements, claiming he had put in a lot of effort and slain a level 33 armored lizard. Feng Yi was genuinely amazed after hearing that. Truly worthy of being the most talented this year. However, Zhao Yangsu wasn't done showing off. He turned and saw your name on the big screen. His smile instantly froze on his face. He felt like 10,000 horses were stampeding through his mind. 100 contribution points. How is this possible? Seeing Zhao Yangsu like he was questioning his whole life, Feng Yi could only try to comfort him, saying it was the result of being held back by upperclassmen. Although Zhao Yangsu felt relieved, a strong sense of urgency welled up inside him.
He didn't even bother to rest.
He turned around and took on another mission, then rushed toward the dark mountain range, vowing to surpass you before sunrise. The scene shifted. You returned to your assigned, shabby dorm. Your 3 roommates were gathered around, eating barbecue. Seeing you come back so late, Maple asked about your mission out of curiosity. You downplayed it and said, "I just wiped out those 30-something level monsters. It was pretty easy, just the travel was a bit of a hassle." Hearing that, the skewer fell right out of Maple's hand. After all, normal students are always extremely cautious out in the wild. But you talked about hunting high-level mutant beasts, as if it was as simple as eating a meal. The aloof guy, Li Zhongfeng, wasn't surprised though. He personally experienced how terrifying your summoned creature was. In his opinion, your power level was something you could barely find a handful of among all humankind. After eating and drinking their fill, a ridiculous scene played out in the dorm. Because one teammate was too cowardly, Maple shamelessly clung to Li Zhongfeng's leg, begging to team up, even went down on his knees and wouldn't let go. Finally, the next morning, Li Zhongfeng had a dark look on his face, and dragged Maple, still stuck to his leg, to take on a mission. Watching them leave, you turned around and took on 2 difficult missions requiring a 4th rebirth, once again heading deep into the mountains. Yang Zhao from headquarters saw all this and sucked in a sharp breath, not satisfied even after crossing 2 major class upgrades. This kid actually wants to challenge the watershed of the 4th rebirth. Worried that a genius like you might fall, he immediately arranged for a mentor to secretly follow and protect you. 1 hour later, you rode Black Hades to your destination. Before you stood a level 44 3-headed serpent coiled atop a rock. Without saying a word, you instantly summoned the Blade of Spirit and unleashed a strike. The Hydra was severely injured before it could even react. It had no idea what just happened.
Taking advantage of the moment,
You commanded Hemming to initiate the attack. With a mighty roar, Haiming's size suddenly surged to 300 meters. He charged in like an apocalyptic behemoth. The Hydra unleashed venom to resist, but Haiming endured the damage with sheer might and bit down hard on its tongue, smashing it brutally to the ground. Though the golden aura was corroded by the venom, you calmly cast an empower spell from a distance. Then your figure vanished. The next second you appeared right before the Hydra and ruthlessly stabbed your sword into its eye. The searing pain made the Hydra howl in agony. Before it could retaliate, Haiming's claws, engulfed in black flames, lashed out instantly and smashed the enormous creature directly into the lake. The Hydra went into a fit of rage and lunged at you in a frenzy. You stayed calm, relying on the insane defense of your silver butterfly armor, letting shockwaves explode around you. Haiming went completely berserk with your buffs. Each strike glowed with a black aura. He forcibly tore several meters deep into the Hydra's hide. With an earth-shattering roar, Haiming stood atop the Hydra's corpse, over 300 meters tall, looking like a natural disaster incarnate. This scene left Zhang Wuyu watching from the shadows absolutely stunned. He never imagined a level 16 summoner could absolutely crush a level 44 mutated beast on the battlefield. At that moment, your keen instincts sensed danger. Zhang Wuyu showed himself immediately and effortlessly took out a lizard that was about to ambush you. He turned to you and said flatly, he heard the commotion over here, so he came to check it out. But his wariness toward your summon was impossible to hide. You didn't call him out either, just smiled and thanked the Sundar mentor for his protection before moving on with your day. You rode Haiming at breakneck speed across the mountains. Every mutated beast above level 40 in your path was wiped out. When you returned to base late at night to report the mission, the entire hall fell silent, then erupted into deafening shouts of shock. 15 level 4 mutated beasts slain in one day. Your ranking like a rocket, shot straight up to 10th in all of Daxia. Meanwhile, at the Hengshan base, Zhao Yangsu was limping, covered in wounds, back to his sector. He originally wanted to show off his accomplishment of slaying a level 36 mutated beast. But when he saw your name firmly in the top 10 on the big screen, his self-esteem was completely shattered. He didn't say a word, turned around at once, and dragged his wounded body back into the dark mountains. This competitive spirit managed to infect everyone at the base. People stopped eating, and even stopped sleeping. Everyone picked up their weapons and rushed back to the command post. Looking at these reckless geniuses, the commanders honestly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Early the next morning, Qingkong, the top Skylark ranker, arrived in person with his squad. Next to him stood the Kexi, an auxiliary class user, and the team's main striker, Wang Yo. At this moment, the three of them stood before you, pleading, and invited you to team up to hunt the level 52 rock dragon Shi. You thought for a moment, and gladly agreed for Haiming's evolution materials. Soon, all of you arrived inside the dungeon. Upon seeing the colossal 500-meter body of the rock dragon Shi covered in stone scales, Qingkong the Kexi and Wang Yao looked utterly serious. Only you gave the mental command and instantly summoned the 230-meter-tall Haiming, activating both black and golden auras. With full power unleashed, the atmosphere felt suffocating. Rock dragon She launched stone pillars in a rage, but Haiming shattered them with a single claw. As the two leviathans collided head-on, A true cross-tier dragon-slaying battle began. Suddenly, the rock dragon she's hands, heavy as Mount Tai, came crashing down. The protective golden light around Haiming shattered like a mirror. Even with countless buffs, in front of this level 52 overlord with royal blood, the difference in rank still put unprecedented pressure on Haiming. The three were stunned by the sight. They thought you needed protection, but now could only retreat with their injured bodies. Looking battered and beaten, the Kexi even risked burning through her mana and summoned the goddess of law, trying to give Haiming a fighting chance. But those defensive barriers were as fragile as paper before Longxi. Seeing Qingkong practically doomed, you remained unshaken, and Mount Tai calmly told the three, "All of you stand back. Haiming is about to go all out." Half a minute later, a roar powerful enough to rend the heavens exploded. Jet black flames erupted like a volcano, instantly turning a kilometer around into scorched earth. In the Kexi's terrified gaze, the goddess projection she believed in was shattered by Haiming's emanating malice. Completely destroyed, this was your trump card. The once arrogant rock dragon, she was now panicking, with black flames blanketing the land. His prized stone scales began melting layer by layer. Haiming had become an avatar of death, relying on 2,000 agility. He executed relentless hit-and-run tactics. The cumbersome rock dragon, she could only bellow furiously, but couldn't even touch a hair on Haiming. In the end, after half an hour of merciless attrition in the black fire, the former wasteland overlord let out a final wail, only to fuel Haiming's insatiable hunger. Nothing remained of his corpse, just a field of glowing embers. The three onlookers in the distance gazed at the apocalyptic wasteland left behind, too weak to even stand. Yang Zhao at command watched everything via drone and saw everything firsthand. He gasped in shock. 4 full tears crossed. You, at level 16, slew a level 52 royal-blooded overlord. No word could describe such a monster. He decided then and there to upload this battle footage to the Daxia Academy forum tomorrow, so everyone would know a legend was born. At that moment, the three approached you in awe, trying to hand over all their contribution points. But you were already planning your next move, letting Haiming devour the fallen dragon lizard. Afterward, Haiming's evolution leaped up by 150 points. With such efficiency, there's no need to hunt lowly level 40 monsters. Now your goal is to hunt 10 more level 50 overlords, and have Haiming break into a higher tier of life. Qingkong and the rest gladly agreed. After all, a level 50 mutated beast is worth a fortune in points. They'd rather be your party tagalongs all day. So the 4 of you and Haiming began a wild sweep. Qingkong and Wang Yao gave it their all, but could only scratch the beast's feet, while Haiming one-shotted everything. By late into the night, the two collapsed on the ground, exhausted like dead dogs. Haiming's size skyrocketed to 80 meters after devouring 10 level 50 mutant beasts. His size surged to 80 meters. All 4 base attributes broke through the 400 mark. After the 3 returned to base, the command center watched the footage sent back by the drones. Everyone was numb. Your cleanup speed in a single day was actually far faster than the other bases. You pushed other trainees so hard they didn't dare sleep, afraid they'd get left behind by you. At this moment, Yang Zhao was also very satisfied. At this rate, the moisture hazards can be eliminated in just a month. Back at the dormitory, Maple Leaf and the others looked at your contribution points and felt a wave of envy. You all enrolled in the academy together. Now you can solo the 5th tier mission, while they're still stuck at tier 2. The gap is simply despairing. Ignoring their shock, you directly spent contribution points to exchange for 10 life crystal stones. When the logistics department saw your application, they approved it instantly without question. After all, you are now being closely monitored. Even if it means emptying the base, the higher-ups would probably still agree. Once you got the crystal stones, you chose to absorb them right away. Your level instantly broke through to level 20. Without hesitation, you directly clicked on the 2nd tier mission. You were instantly teleported to an unfamiliar world. A transparent system window popped up before your eyes. This world was invaded by the Fallen. They enslaved everything, constantly multiplying and growing stronger here. Mission: eliminate the Fallen. Notice, returning to Blue Heart voluntarily is not possible. You walked to the edge of a cliff and looked down. You saw a group of gray fallen with legs, enslaving emaciated humans, using their labor to irrigate fruit trees. Seeing your own kind raised as livestock, a surge of fury rushed straight to your head. Your silver battle armor instantly covered your whole body. You jumped straight down the 100-meter cliff. Two fallen were still chatting. The next second, you smashed their heads with a punch. The other fallen realized what happened and tried to gang up on you. You move like a humanoid T-Rex, wielding a 13-ton war halberd, sweeping through the horde of monsters with overwhelming force. Limbs and body parts fly through the air wherever you pass. In just moments, you've slaughtered 80 corrupted creatures. At this moment, you look up at the sky. You discover a giant gray eye. It's staring at you intently. You realize your location has been exposed. Just then, a little girl trembles as she runs over. She nervously asks if you're an immortal. Can you save us? Looking at her injured body and pleading eyes, your killing intent surges. You gently place your hand on her head. You promise that by the end of today, no corrupted creatures will remain alive. As if sensing your rage, Haiming is summoned forth. To be cautious, you decide to upgrade Haiming again. You immediately confirm the evolution. A terrifying beam of evolutionary light shoots into the sky. It shatters the surveillance eye in the sky directly. After evolution, Haiming is now over 200 meters tall. All his stats increase by 90 points. Every one of his talents is strengthened, especially the fire ability, which has evolved into Heavenly Flame. It can now fuse with power to create its own domain. Next, you tell the little girl to hide herself well. Then, with Haiming, you actively charge into battle. After a dozen minutes, a massive army of corrupted appears on the horizon. There are easily several thousand of them. 10 of them at the front are level 55, 5-ring corrupted. This level of difficulty would make any second transition rookie desperate. But your gaze is ice cold. You instantly order Haiming to leave no survivors. Haiming lets out a furious roar and instantly transforms into a giant beast. A black flame field unfolds. It looks like an Armageddon demon god. Such terrifying intimidation causes thousands of corrupted to go weak in the knees on the spot. The leading 5-ring corrupted attempt to resist, only to see a massive claw block out the sun as it descends. The earth cracks apart in an instant. Whether small fry or leader, under this strike, all are smashed into pulp. Hundreds of meters of ground instantly turn pitch black, the flames exploding for thousands of meters. Countless corrupted are devoured within. Not only are their bodies burned, but their very life force is rapidly being stripped away. In just a few seconds, a vast number of weaker corrupted have been reduced to ashes. The leading 5-ring corrupted, Leolis, is struck with terror. This life-burning power is simply impossible to heal. The other 9 leaders see this and join forces to unleash their ultimate skills. But Haiming's golden shield effortlessly blocks them. Haiming counters with a sky-covering palm. Leolis immediately tries to flee, but suddenly locks eyes with a pair of pupils filled with endless death. That's the A-level talent, deathly dual eyes. Gaze of eternity. Leolis is instantly frozen in mid-air. She can only stare helplessly at the mountain-sized palm. As it descends, the earth collapses in an instant. Dust billows everywhere. This 5-ring powerhouse is directly smashed into pulp. The remaining leaders are scared out of their wits. They immediately scatter to escape, but locked onto by the deathly dual eyes, they are frozen in place like flies. Then Haiming quickly catches up and tears them to pieces. Their bodies instantly turn to ash. You don't idle either. With your war halberd, you charge into the monster horde. Every strike lands with an explosive thud. The area within 100 meters soon turns into a hellscape, until Haiming's eyes begin to bleed. No longer able to withstand the backlash of death energy, he finally stops using the dual eyes. After clearing the battlefield, you lead Haiming straight toward the corrupted king's city. There, a level 5-9, nearly 6-ring level demon king's son, Laetus, is waiting for you. As soon as you reach the inner city, you see him unfold his black ancient wings. The aura of corruption he emits darkens heaven and earth. You immediately use fusion on Haiming. Haiming's size swells instantly, turning into an apocalyptic beast. Laetus sneers when he sees this. A terrifying demon blade forms in his hand, surging with world-ending power, and he brings it down on Haiming. Haiming's diamond body is instantly shattered. But shockingly, he grabs the demon blade with both hands, letting dark golden blood run down. He fights on without retreat. He lets out a furious roar to the sky. Pitch-black fire instantly spreads across several kilometers. After 3 talents are fused together, the field of heavenly death is unleashed. Within this domain, all things are defined as dead. Laetus is horrified to discover his own life force draining away rapidly. He tries to counterattack, but is smashed into the ground by Haiming's palm. Shamed and angry, Laetus enters his demonized form and activates the city's grand defense formation. In an instant, countless black shackles, each dozens of meters wide, emerge from the void, tightly binding Haiming. They attempt to turn him into a puppet. Seeing this, you charge into the rear formation. Your silver armor stands out sharply among the black horde. Facing the encirclement of corrupted creatures, you don't take a single step back, letting countless attacks clang loudly against your armor. Your war halberd reaps through the ranks relentlessly, striking terror into the hearts of the corrupted and driving them back. The grand formation collapses instantly. Without the suppression of the array, Haiming immediately breaks free of the shackles. He unleashes a terrifying death seal. Laetus exhausts all his life-saving options. He turns and tries to flee, but Haiming smashes him down with a single claw. Mighty claws, dozens of meters across, fall onto the plaza like meteors. All surrounding structures begin to collapse. With that, the arrogant Demon King's son finally falls. After the battle ends, you barge into the palace's depths, dragging out a shivering cultist corrupted. Interrogated by you, he confesses to a world teleportation array that can hold 1,000 people. In order to save your people, you force him to activate a floating sky castle. 2 hours later, a huge shadow covers the plantation. The little girl from before walks out shakily, thinking more monsters are coming. Until she sees you descend from the sky, she excitedly shouts, "Immortal!" You bring her and the other hundreds of survivors aboard the Sky City. At that moment, in the eyes of your desperate people, you, clad in silver armor, are the one true god. Facing the survivors' reverent gazes, the girl called Xiao Yu asks in a trembling voice, "Are you really an immortal?" You do not admit to it, just looking gently at those of your kind, who are barely surviving in the darkness, and you say, "I will take you away to a world where there is light." After hearing these words, the hope in everyone's eyes is reignited. You then lead hundreds onto Sky City, heading straight for the palace teleportation array. With the cultist corrupted's help, you lock onto Blue Star's coordinates. As the teleportation array activates, you return to Blue Star. Immediately, a system voice rings in your ears. Battle complete. A total of 56,000 corrupted creatures eliminated. You crushed the 6-ring throne. Perfect. Your enhancement and restoration spells are greatly strengthened. Most importantly, Summoning Spell has advanced to Divine Summoning Spell. Your next summon will definitely be a holy type creature. Return to the dormitory. You turn on your phone. News has gone viral about survivors from another world appearing in Fanyan City. The news is everywhere now. Looking at your fellow countrymen reborn through the news, your tense nerves finally relax. Not only did you break records in this quest, you also upheld the bottom line for your people. Afterward, exhausted but full of honor, you collapsed into a deep sleep. When you wake up, you find that Maple Leaf and the others have red, swollen eyes. They're glaring at you, gritting their teeth. Turns out you're so strong. You forced students from other academies to start an intense competition. They even developed a 4-person sleep rotation system to complete tasks quickly. You're affected by their anxiety. Maple Leaf and the others lose their appetite for breakfast and storm out to keep grinding monsters. Seeing this, you chuckle. Then head into the base and accept a mission to kill a level 59 Dark Golden Fury Bear and a 6th tier Thunder Colossus. At this, both the female soldiers and command staff are stunned. A 6th tier mission? That's the domain of an instructor. You're just a freshman, how dare you? An hour later, Riding Haiming, you head deep into the mountains. The level 59 Dark Golden Fury Bear senses danger. Its massive 600-meter-tall body rises abruptly. Haiming charges without hesitation, instantly growing even bigger, charging straight at the Fury Bear. A fierce battle breaks out immediately. Even though the Fury Bear unleashes its sharp jet stream, Haiming relentlessly suppresses it. About to be gutted by Haiming, the Fury Bear can't hold on any longer. It turns its head and smashes through hundreds of meters of forest in a desperate escape, howling miserably as it runs. Suddenly, in response, a thunderclap shakes the entire region. And then, an undying thunder bear wrapped in blue lightning arrives, shattering the earth beneath its feet. This is a level 62 king-tier colossus. The moment it appears, thunderclouds instantly blanket the sky, forming a terrifying storm vortex, as if doomsday has come. A fierce battle breaks out immediately. Haiming instantly activates the Fusion Heavenly Array seal. Black gold divine runes shine brightly, going head-to-head with the Thunder Bear's lightning. The collision of these two colossal beasts shatters the earth. Heavenly thunder keeps crashing down from above. Haiming stands his ground, refusing to dodge, taking the strikes head-on, fighting to the death without retreat. Seeing it can't win quickly, the Thunder Bear orders its underling to sneak attack you. The severely injured Dark Golden Fury Bear follows the order. A cruel look appears on its face, and it charges at you wildly. You're about to make a strategic retreat. Amid the billowing dust, the beautiful instructor Ji Fei charges forward, wielding a massive 4-meter halberd. Die for me.
He leaps high into the air,
Crashing the war halberd down with a surge of crimson blood energy. The dark gold violent bear's skull collapses instantly. Without even a scream, it smashed into the ground. Ji Fei hoists her halberd, smiling with irresistible charm. So, instructor, pretty moving rescue, huh? Looking at that brutal scene, all you can think is, she's a she-dragon. Seeing you're unharmed, Haiming finally lets go of all his worries. He no longer holds back or conserves his power. The fierce bear battle heats up to its climax. The fierce bear lets out a furious roar, drawing in the lightning elements within a 10-kilometer radius. It gathers into a world-ending pillar of lightning. Brilliant blue light devours everything. The land vaporizes instantly. Where Haiming was standing, a 300-meter-deep crater appears. Yellow Bear gasps, thinking it's all over. Yet he sees Haiming still standing tall in the deep pit, his entire body covered in blazing divine runes. He then steps out of the pit, one step at a time, pins the exhausted Yellow Bear to the ground, and tears him apart claw by claw. Witnessing this scene, the command center erupts instantly. A level 20 fighter defeating a level 62 dire beast. This Wolf is practically a god. Yang Jiao is so shocked he wipes away tears. He's practiced for a year and still hasn't mastered Fusion Domain. But your Haiming mastered it in just half a year. This is so discouraging. After the battle ends, you take inventory of the spoils. Your rank soars instantly to 3rd in the boxing rankings. Returning to the dormitory, you happen to run into your former challenger, Zhao Yongsu. He's crawling back, covered in blood, to submit his quest. When he sees your sudden surge in points, he's instantly overcome with grief. He goes back to the mountains crying, hoping to catch up. You ignore these side stories and open the safe sent by the commander.
inside.
6 types of top-tier summoning materials are neatly arranged. Some of them are worth tens of millions. You hesitate no more and start the 3rd summoning immediately. This time, with Holy Summoning boosting you. You're full of anticipation. As the magic circle bursts with golden light, a creature about the size of an arm, with wings on its back slowly appears before you. As the golden light fades, the one who emerges from the summoning array is actually a barely alive young angel. He looks like he's just survived a massacre. An angelic race, a legendary, supreme existence that's never answered any summons. Seeing this, you don't hesitate and walk forward. Gently place a finger on his forehead. Strive with me to ascend and become a god. As soul-rending pain rips through you, the pact is sealed. Congratulations, your summon has awakened. Unique talent, Sun and Moon Cycle. SSS-Rank immense power lifts the little angel up. Left eye like the sun. Right eye like the moon. Master. My name is Diana. You check the stats panel. Almost blinded by his attributes. All stats at 250. And a staggering 450 in mana. SS level talent Sun and Moon Cycle relates to the law of time. And SS level Holy Sigil boosts power by 500%, even granting teammates a 50% stat Holy Blessing. Just as you're lost in joy, crisis quietly descends. A bribed human traitor uses an invisibility talisman to sneak deep into the mountains and opens a space channel through a ritual sacrifice. 100 corrupted of 4th and 5th ring strength, wearing cruel, cold smiles, are stepping into the human rear. This mission has only one goal: hunt down every genius. The command center quickly descends into chaos. Even Commander Yang, the strongest, is still seriously wounded, so these fiends run rampant with no resistance. At the outskirts of the mountains, Senior Su Yuangshang's team is the first to encounter a level 51 elite corrupted. The power gap is huge. Su Yuangxiang fights desperately to resist, his armor shattered to pieces. In seconds, the corrupted tramples him underfoot. As the whole team is about to be wiped out, a lightning-fast figure dashes into the battlefield. It's your former teammate, Qing Kong. After days of honing himself, his power has soared, teaming up with the Kexi's support and Wang Yao's range. The three of them instantly behead the corrupted together. This is what top-tier fighting power at Lark Academy looks like. Meanwhile, you've just arrived deep in another mountain range, where a seductive level 56 female corrupted is secretly watching you. Licking her lips, she says, "This toy. I'm taking you." She then unleashes a cloud of black threads, rushing at you. She wants to toy with you in the palm of her hand. But He Ming, having sensed her presence, slowly looks up. Just a glance into He Ming's eyes, and the female corrupted is dragged into an abyss of terror. Within that mental space, all she can do is watch as that giant beast stomps down. But in reality, He Ming slams a palm down on the female corrupted, and as her lifeless eyes snap back to awareness, she's scared out of her mind and flees desperately the other way. Too terrifying. That's not even a living creature, but you never intended to let her go and give chase. Make sure to kill her.
He Ming, following the order, dashes out instantly.
He catches up to the female corrupted in a flash, then raises a massive paw high. As the earth trembles, this once arrogant beauty is smashed to dust by He Ming in an instant. Soon after, He Ming returns carrying his spoils. A perfect level 105 life crystal glistening in his jaws. After swallowing it, He Ming's evolution surges. You know, more and more corrupted are hunting for your allies. Now that you have Angel Diana's protection, you decide not to hold back anymore, and immediately wave at the drone in the sky. You give directions to the corrupted's locations. Everyone in the command center is stunned. A female officer is visibly shocked. He's actually splitting forces to hunt, letting He Ming clean up the battlefield solo. But right then, He Ming's eyes gleam with excitement after receiving the order, and he shoots out like a bolt of lightning. Even the drone can hardly keep up with him. As he stomps through, the female officer watches the screen and sighs. At this growth rate, in another year, the human race may see its 9th guardian god. But what she doesn't know is, He Ming is now not just invincible for his level, but absolutely crushing foes 2 whole ranks above him. Elsewhere, a few hundred kilometers away, 15 junior students are being surrounded by 4th ring corrupted. At the brink of despair, they suddenly hear a thunderous crash. A terrifying 100-meter tall black wolf bursts through the forest and rushes into the fray. Its fierce and brutal aura scares the corrupted out of their wits. They think it's just a passing beast king, and immediately try to escape. But He Ming's real target is them. Ebon flames engulf hundreds of meters in an instant.
He Ming swats at them like flies,
taking out one after another, grinding all these once arrogant corrupted into nothing but pulp. It only takes about 10 seconds. The students who thought they'd die are left speechless. One male student recognizes the summoned beast at that moment. Is this that freshman? Chen Qiansheng's summoned creature? Since when are freshmen stronger than seniors? The scene shifts. The battle deep in the mountains is even more intense. To cover the students' retreat, the beautiful instructor Ji Fei stood alone against 5 level 55 corrupted. She wielded a battle spear. her vitality surging like a dragon. She single-handedly overpowered 5 corrupted in a fierce fight. You want to assimilate me? You're asking for death. But the corrupted are cunning veterans after all. One of them deliberately left an opening. At the moment Jifei's burst ended, he drank a bottle of royal true blood. His aura instantly soared to 6-ring level. With a single black spear blow, Jifei was knocked to the ground. Become my slave. The corrupted smiled and slowly approached Jifei. At this critical moment, a silver spear descended from the sky, landing right in front of the corrupted. You arrived on the battlefield clad in silver armor, exuding a murderous aura, facing a powerful 6-ring enemy. You knew you weren't a match, but you didn't show a hint of fear. Come forth, Diana. With your summon, a palm-sized little angel appeared out of thin air. Her holy presence made the corrupted feel restless. The corrupted froze for a moment, then became ecstatic. An angel in her infancy. Thanks for the gift. He greedily wanted to corrupt this supreme being. But little did he know, this young angel had just awakened. INSS-level talent. Diana gazed at these familiar invaders, anger blazing in her golden eyes. She soared into the sky. A vision of a golden sun erupted in her eyes, and an enormous radiant sun emerged behind her. The terrifying golden light swept away all darkness. In that light, Diana's body instantly matured into her full form, tall, stunning, and majestic. At this moment, she was no longer just a cute little being, but the Holy Queen of Judgment. The corrupted's ecstasy instantly froze on his face. He realized in horror that in front of this great sun, the corruption within him. As the brilliant sun rose behind Diana, a terrifying golden light instantly transformed the battlefield into a sacred domain. The power of corruption the fallen prided themselves on melted away like snow and ice. Their souls felt as if they were in purgatory. The fallen looked shocked. How could this be a young angel? This was clearly a deity wielding the power of the sun. He immediately transformed into a giant black serpent and shot into the sky, preparing to strike down Diana. But the goddess simply raised her hand indifferently, and countless blazing points of light rained down like a storm. The 6-ring fallen was instantly pierced through, then smashed heavily into the ground. The rest of the fallen stood no chance at all, howling in pain as the light struck them down. Nearby, Jifei, Qingkong, and the others were also protected by the holy brilliance, and their wounds rapidly healed. The tide of battle instantly turned. At that moment, the long-hidden cultist finally prepared to strike, launching a sudden deadly attack on you. Diana's eyes turned cold. The blazing sun behind her slowly collapsed, replaced by a cold, radiant full moon. The world was suddenly plunged into darkness. Her silver hair billowed, making her look like a proud and aloof moon goddess, when the dark red chakram appeared around her. With a single cold command, the chakram shot out, slicing through the air, ignoring all defenses, and instantly shredded the cultist on the spot. This was the terror of the SSS-Rank cycles of sun and moon talent. The sun for judgment, the moon for annihilation. At this point, the 6-ring fallen was utterly desperate. Both of your summons could fight across almost 30 levels. This was simply hopeless. To eliminate you, the future major threat, he pulled out his ultimate trump card, the summoning roulette. You will die here today. As the roulette spun, a jet-black summoning formation rose out of nowhere, and a towering gray fallen, over a dozen meters tall, slowly stepped out. This was a true throne-level powerhouse. A terrifying aura swept through the entire area instantly, filling everyone with deep despair. Just as you prepared to risk everything, a hand landed on your shoulder. I've waited a long time for this alien throne to show up. You turned to look, and saw the commander. Yan Zhao looked toward the Hengshen base, when an even more terrifying presence shattered the heavens and descended. Jiang Zhu, the human throne of severing the heavens, had arrived. In an instant, the alien throne realized he had walked into a trap. Jiang Zhu, aren't you supposed to be guarding the front lines? Aren't you worried the defenses will be breached? But Jiang Zhu just shrugged indifferently. Killing you isn't a problem. In a flash, the two thrones clashed in the void, the shockwaves shaking the earth. Only then did Yang Zhao reveal the real plan behind everything. The so-called cleansing operation was real. But the human leadership went along with it, using a genius as bait, not just to flush out the hidden cultists and elite fallen, but also to ambush and destroy an alien throne. It was a high-stakes gamble with lives on the line. Yang Zhao looked into your eyes. Are you disappointed? You looked up at the two earth-shattering figures in the sky and shook your head. Not really. When something has to be done, it must be done. Yang Zhao chuckled, because the throne who first came up with this plan once said those exact same words. Not long after the battle ended, Haiming came back looking a little dejected, because he didn't find any big feast. Yan Zhao looked at this level 20 monster that had already mastered domain fusion and gave it the highest praise. As long as its level is high enough, he will become a heavenly king with no obstacles at all. But he also reminded you not to blindly level up. If it loses its ability to leap levels in combat, it would be just another ordinary summon. You wholeheartedly agreed, deciding to stick to your take everything strategy, give all experience to leveling up, and go all in with life crystals for Haiming. At that moment, a streak of light fell from the sky. Diana, in her stunning angelic form, bowed to you. Not far away, a man strode across the air toward you. None other than Zhang Zhu, who just battered the alien throne. Just an alien throne. I can crush him with a flick of my wrist. His words were tough, but he was already deeply corrupted. Diana tried to heal him with her holy light, but the level gap was too great, so she could only ease the symptoms. Curious, Zhang Zhu tried to ride Haiming nearby, but Haiming dodged away with clear disdain. The throne was instantly hurt. I've done so much for humanity, yet I can't even bully a single Volf. In the end, he could only huff and fly back to the base. Back at the base, you saw your severely injured roommates. Maple Leaf sighed. If it weren't for anti-aircraft support, we would have all died. He looked at you, his eyes full of sadness. Chan Shang, the gap between us is enormous. You now understood the brutality of the front lines. To give you more confidence, Zhang Zhu and Yang Zhao waved generously and directly gave you 700 life crystals. This is how humanity treats its prodigies. As long as you're willing to show your blade, they'll give you the best they have. With resources in hand, Yang Zhao made a request. He wanted Haiming to share his experience in mastering domains, as it was critical for their breakthrough to Tier 10. But Haiming's answer left the throne speechless. Haiming said he learned it just by looking at it once. Yang Zhao's mouth twitched. What about body fusion? That's a Heavenly King level technique. You hesitated for a moment, but decided to be honest. He said he didn't even need to look. He could do it effortlessly. This time, Yang Zhao was completely defeated. He clutched his chest and stared off into the distance. After that, you took Haiming back to the mountains and brought out a mountain of life crystals. Haiming excitedly opened his jaws wide to devour them. As pitch-black flames burned, his evolution value shot up by over 1,700 points, and his size increased by another 5 meters. All his stats broke through the 500 mark. Looking at these terrifying numbers on the panel, you decided to delve deeper into the mountains. This time, not for any task, but just to let this world-ending beast eat its fill. With Haiming and Diana working together, all mutant beasts above level 50 in the Balian Mountains were wiped out. After devouring a massive amount of life crystals, Haiming's size soared by 15 meters, and his base stats rose by 30 points. After giantification, he absolutely crushed his old self. Seeing this terrifying growth rate, you couldn't help but marvel. So this is the value of an SSS talent. Back at the base, Yan Zhao told you that the crisis in the Balian Mountains was over. But things were critical at the Wushan base. Countless mutant beasts, under the command of the level 69 Darkhorn Behemoth, began to converge, preparing to attack the city from 4 directions simultaneously. This wasn't just a riot. It was a premeditated war. You accepted the support mission without hesitation. Yang Zhao nodded approvingly. It's even more dangerous there. Thousands upon thousands of mutant beasts. Aren't you afraid? You shook your head. It's okay. They'll protect me. Before you left, Yang Zhao took you to the underground warehouse, where the top resources from the front lines were stored. 5 precious level 7 life crystals, and over 100 rare crystals with special attributes. You didn't hold back. You summoned the silver butterfly battle armor and started a frenzy of fusion. With the fusion of 30 black gold stones and broken steel stones, the armor's weight soared to 163 tons. The sharpness trait stacked up to a terrifying 10 layers. Even more surprising, you also drew the lava and size manipulation, 2 new traits. At this moment, the silver butterfly was no longer just defensive gear, but a killing machine that combines offense and defense. With your upgraded equipment, you followed the main force to the Wushan base. All kinds of top cadets had already gathered here, each of them with bloodshot eyes, filled with murderous intent. Obviously, your previous achievements have driven them crazy. That guy named Jia Youngsu stared at you relentlessly, his eyes showing an obsession to surpass you this time. At the combat briefing, the commander issued the tail sever plan, splitting everyone into 8 groups, to intercept and eliminate stray mutant beast packs, and reduce the pressure on the defense line. Chen Tiansheng, you're to operate solo. Yang Zhao's words drew everyone's attention. The cadets nearby were so shocked. Even the instructors needed to team up. So why does he get to go solo? But you remain calm, and silently agreed to this assignment. At the moment of departure, 16 fighter jets roared into the sky, while you summoned the dark underworld Volf, crushing the ground beneath, and jumped right over the base's high walls, disappearing in front of everyone's stunned gaze. Yang Zhao watched your back, his eyes full of both worry and hope. He even handed you a life elixir worth 100,000 contribution points, giving it to you personally, then said, as long as you're still alive, drinking it will bring you back. In the mountains, the dark Volf charged ahead, crashing through countless giant trees. You fed him all 5 level 7 life crystals. His evolution value shot up by 1,500 points instantly. Just one step away from the next evolution. Young angel Diana was also curiously observing this world amid the fierce wind. 1 man, 1 Volf, and 1 angel, like the grim reaper passing by. Amidst the billowing, dust-choked mountains, 3 enormous, terrifying beasts appeared, their bodies exuding an aura of ferocity, with various powers faintly manifesting around them. Over 100,000 meters of earth trembled. The sheer momentum was overwhelming and terrifying. Inside the command center, many officers watched through drone feeds, all wearing grim expressions, facing the oncoming behemoths. Haiming didn't choose to intercept them. Instead, he charged straight out to draw all their aggro. A level 20 Black Volf, facing 3 terrifying monsters over level 65 alone. The officers in the command center were stunned. Is he throwing his life away? Seeing that, Haiming immediately activated the Heavenly Refinement Death Domain. The domain rapidly expanded. Hundreds of level 40 mutant beasts following the monsters instantly turned to ash. But facing an assault from the 3 giant beasts, Haiming raised his claws, slamming them to the ground one after another, pinning them down, and then reducing them to dust. The foes he once struggled to defeat, now in his eyes, were nothing but slightly larger ants. Meanwhile, the sky was shrouded by a cold, full moon. Diana transformed into the goddess of the moon. 9 dark red chakrams spun around her. A level 54 golden eagle tried to ambush her, but was instantly sliced in half by a chakram. Facing a sky-swallowing horde of flying beasts, Diana coldly waved her hand. 4 chakrams interlaced through the sky, and a stinking, bloody rain fell from above. Countless mutant beasts were cut into neat pieces before they could even let out a scream. But this wasn't her limit yet. As the 9 chakrams merged into one, Diana entered her endgame destruction form. The once silver moon turned a chilling crimson. A crimson blade of light ripped through the world, slicing down a level 65 centipede beast, along with its armored shell and kilometer-long body. In an instant, minced into pulp. 1 strike, instant kill. That's the power of an SSS-Rank talent. In just a few minutes, all 4 seemingly invincible behemoths were slain, followed by Haiming devouring their life force. His body swelled even larger. A man, a Volf, and an angel actually stopped a cataclysmic onslaught. The command center fell utterly silent. Everyone was stunned by this power beyond comprehension, left speechless in shock. However, the crisis wasn't over. From deep in the mountains came a distant roar. The level 69 Darkhorn Behemoth actually began micromanaging the battle. He ordered the beast horde to attack the cities separately, rushing towards 5 cities at once. The Myanmar people's defenses instantly became stretched thin. At this moment, Zhao Yangsu, the madman from North Dragon Academy, was fighting furiously. Chen Tiansheng killed 1,000 beasts. I'll kill 1,000 too. His whole body wrapped in black fluid.
He charged into the beast horde like a demon god,
single-handedly holding off one entire enemy column. But more mutant beasts were still approaching the cities. At this critical moment, you made a crazy decision to send Haiming to Yunhee City, not retreating even when seeing the city fighting to the end, and Diana to intercept another wave, while you yourself rushed toward the closest Miss City, fighting on 3 fronts alone. You planned to rely solely on yourself to build a wall of flesh and blood for 3 cities. Outside the Wushun base, the battle had raged for hours. You transformed into a silver war god, wielding a battle spear, blocking the assault of thousands of mutant beasts alone. When you finally pinned a level 61 savage beast beneath your foot and pressed your spear against its head, the land was already soaked with blood. On your giant arm, your female instructor stared at you in a daze. At that silhouette, her heart racing, thinking, so handsome. He must have just returned from the front lines. And on the other side of the mountains, a mortal epic of tragic heroism was unfolding. Qin Kong watched as the last level 58 mutant beast charged toward the city. His body was too numb to move, but in his mind suddenly appeared memories of the disaster from over a decade ago. The giant rock that crushed his parents. He had tried his hardest but still couldn't move. Can't give up.
Can't.
That boulder he once couldn't shift. I can move it now? A gale exploded around Qin Kong. He awakened. His hidden class skill. Silence of death. He became a green flash of wind, crossing 10,000 meters in an instant to catch up with the mutant beast. His sword left behind afterimages. Die. When the mutant beast finally fell, Qin Kong collapsed in exhaustion, a relieved smile on his lips. I did it, Mom and Dad. At that moment, the real showdown broke out at faraway Yunhee City. The level 69 Darkhorn Behemoth wielded thunder and fire, leading thousands of beasts to the city gates. Missiles and flak from the base struck him, not even scratching him. Just as all hope seemed lost, a giant black wolf blocked their path. His whole body wreathed in jet-black flames. Like an insurmountable chasm, the soldiers shouted with excitement. That black wolf is terrifying. Is he helping us? The Darkhorn Behemoth halted, massive eyes flashing with confusion and brutality. Seeing this, Haiming activated Death Domain. Though the Darkhorn Behemoth lacked a domain, he possessed king-level bloodline, mastery of lightning and fire, with a power level of 6-9. The two collided in an instant. Mountains crumbled and earth shattered. Haiming's divine markings shattered under the thunder and fire. His flesh flayed and torn. After all, he was only level 20. No matter how gifted, he was still at a disadvantage against such a top-tier behemoth. Watching the Darkhorn try to go around him and destroy the city, Haiming heard your command in his mind. Until he saw a city. Protect it.
He didn't understand why he should protect humans.
But in his eyes, everything but you could be killed. But since you said so, that was absolute law. Haiming let out a soul-crushing, tragic roar and made his most insane move, forcibly fusing Heavenly Refinement Death Domain. The domain instantly backfired, tearing his flesh apart, bleeding, dark golden blood. What replaced it was a surging black and red annihilation flame, and an aura of brutality that made all tremble. The Darkhorn Behemoth was afraid of him, backing away in terror. Haiming turned into a black-red bolt of lightning, instantly appearing before the Darkhorn Behemoth, a demonic claw tearing downward, slamming the once invincible giant into the ground. Annihilation flames raged uncontrollably. The Darkhorn Behemoth gave a desperate roar. Haiming crushed its skull beneath his foot. His eyes held only endless indifference. As the Darkhorn turned to ash, Haiming's body also reached its limit. His gigantic form collapsed with a thud. Death continued to erode his body. as greedy mutant beasts gathered around, wanting to feast on the badly wounded Wolf King. The soldiers in the attack helicopter were frantic with worry, desperately trying to rush over. Hurry, don't let them succeed. But the mutated beasts are too fast. A giant serpent opens its massive bloody jaws, about to bite at the black obsidian. Two crescent-shaped crimson blades slash through the night sky, instantly cutting the serpent into 3 pieces. A full moon hangs high in the sky. Diana spreads her wings, as if a goddess descends beneath the moon. Death to those who approach. 9 rings of doom. The circular blades dance in the moonlight like the scythe of death. In an instant, dozens of mutated beasts are sliced to pieces. After wiping out all the enemies, Diana withdraws her killing intent and lands beside Haiming. He uses his last bit of divine power to heal Haiming, but the injuries are too severe. The effect is minimal. Just then, an armed helicopter lands. A warrior sprints over carrying medicine. Panting, he calls out, "Angel." These are healing potions for treating Haiming. Diana nods, takes the potions and approaches the barely alive Haiming. Her voice is crisp, yet carries undeniable authority. Haiming opens his mouth. The battle is over. You deactivate your battle armor form. Board the jet to rush to Yunhee City. There, Haiming is hanging by a thread between life and death. The cost of forcibly merging the refining heaven-dead zone is too great. The intent of death is consuming his flesh. Even if you give him life serum worth 100,000, it can only barely keep him alive. The only hope is evolution. Only the power of autonomous evolution from gluttony can cleanse this terrifying intent of death. But there are still over 1,000 evolution points missing. Relying on low-level crystals is simply too late. At this moment, you call Principal Yang. The commander doesn't hesitate. Immediately activates top authority, transferring 5 level 7 life crystals from the front line, while waiting for supplies. The battle videos from Misty Cloud Mountains go viral online. In the first video, you transform into a 40-meter-tall silver armor war god, single-handedly fighting off the beast horde with just a gun, slaughtering until the ground is covered in corpses. This guy is insanely strong, killing mutated beasts like slicing vegetables. Defending an entire city alone. This is just too cool. The second video is even more explosive. Haiming transforms into a fierce demon Wolf, a dark-horned beast mastering both thunder and fire. The scenes of destruction are apocalyptic. Chun-Li, your sister, is watching TV at home. She jumps up in excitement, shouting, "Mom! Look, that's Brother's blacklist. How did he get so huge?" When they saw Haiming smashed into the ground, then reigniting with black-red demon flames for a desperate counterattack, every viewer was on edge. This Wolf is fighting with its life to protect the city. A day later, the blue fighter jet landed, delivering 5 level 7 energy crystals brimming with life force, straight into your hands. You didn't hesitate. You fed them all to Haiming. The system panel popped up. You instantly clicked Confirm Purification. As you pressed Confirm, a long-accumulated purifying power erupted like a volcano. A pitch-black light pillar hundreds of meters wide pierced the sky. Haiming suddenly opened his eyes. That aura of primal greed and gluttony swept across the world in an instant. The will of death was instantly wiped out. His body was reforged within the pillar of light. This time, he would step into a whole new level of life, bathed in the level 7 life crystals. Haiming's evolution lasted for hours. When the light pillar faded, a terrifying demon Wolf stood before the world. This evolution was a true leap in quality. All attributes doubled, breaking past 700 overall. A new talent, Annihilation Thunder, was unlocked. The giant form talent upgraded into Divine Transformation. Even his basic fire talent upgraded to Heavenly Donkey. This little black dog, once so small, has now truly grown into a flawless, apocalyptic beast. Then Haiming shrank his form, trying to pounce into your arms for a cuddle. But with a gentle leap, you fell flat since you weren't wearing your armor. You nearly coughed up blood on the spot. You frowned slightly. Did you just try to kill your master? Haiming whimpered, feeling wronged. He didn't know that with his divine transformation body now, even when shrunken, he still had terrifying density and strength. After that, you left Mist Mountain Base, taking Haiming and Diana with you. and set out on a relentless map-clearing journey. In just a single month, with just you and your mount, you swept across 12 entire mountain ranges. The scene shifts. In the perilous Lime Mountains, Haiming activated his mythic form, compressing his size to 3 meters. Even though he looked a lot smaller, his strength and explosive power skyrocketed exponentially. As the purple-black annihilation thunder exploded at his claws, a level 68 poison lizard couldn't even react before it was smashed to bits with a single claw. This is the true pressure of a 7-turn battle strength. If he activates the quadruple talent fusion field, even beasts above level 80 could be taken head-on by Haiming. The officers in the command center watched the unstoppable figure on their screens, so shocked they were numb. Is that even human? One person did the work of an entire legion. Your contribution points in this massacre skyrocketed to 245,000. You are now firmly number 1 on the new recruits board. Even the Apocalypse system classified you as frontline battlefield strength. It immediately issued a special reward of 100,000 contribution points. Back at Wusham base, you exchanged for a large number of low-level life crystals, not to feed Haiming, but to level up yourself and Diana. As the crystals shattered, everyone in your team leveled up to 30. Diana, the little angel, truly deserves the title of top summon. Her magic attributes soared to 800 points, surpassing Haiming directly. Now she's basically a magic cannon. Haiming also stepped into his growth phase, gaining 150 attribute points per level. Only Silver Butterfly only gained 1 attribute per level after upgrading. Looking at his impossibly stable system panel, you fell into deep thought. My summons have a fragility stat. But luckily his armor form is still powerful. The enhancements still make him your strongest defense. Once the rest was over, you stood once again at a turning point in fate. You opened up the system panel. You've reached level 30. The 3rd turn quest is now available. Based on your total power index, you'll enter a suitable rebirth instance. When the system notification rang out, your figure vanished from the spot. This time, what awaits you is even bigger, and an even harsher world. 1st turn quest activated. You are transported to a world on the brink of destruction. Coordinates 00863. Mission: eliminate the source. There is no sunlight here. Only ominous, all-encompassing gray mist and twisted black plants. Right after you landed, you saw a woman with ashen skin, sitting among the ruins. Her blood-red eyes locked on you, making a chilling noise. Hello there. You looked on indifferently and called out softly. A flash of white light. The black Volve instantly appeared in midair, its claws slashing down mercilessly. Monsters hiding in the dark were instantly killed. The woman collapsed on the ground in terror among the ruins. You walked toward her step by step, looking down at her from above, under your dominion and fear. She pointed out the gathering spot of the mutated monsters. You issued a cold order, and immediately black flames devoured the entire street. In a deserted city park, the last surviving human squad was already at their limits. Faced with endless monsters, Captain Ling Yuan looked at his wounded teammates beside him, his eyes full of despair. "Push forward," he shouted, ready to use his own body to buy his teammates time, even though he knew it was pointless. "I can't bear the hope of saving the world." Just as he was about to die, a silver figure stormed the battlefield. You entered with Haiming by your side. The monsters that saw their companions as food instantly turned and charged at you. Haiming swung his claws, ripping 4-meter-tall monsters into shreds in an instant. But more and more monsters gathered, and even more massive giants appeared. You stopped holding back, summoning silver butterfly armor. As radiant lights exploded, the silver war god suddenly descended. The battle spear in your hand grew massive and swept across the enemies. With just one strike, the mutated monsters evaporated on the spot without so much as a scream, gone without a trace. Ling Yuan's blade crashed to the ground with a clang. He was in total shock. Is this a god? The battle was over. You deactivated the armor. Ling Yuan nervously walked up and told you the source of the gray mist. In the former fortress city, where numerous terrifying monsters lurked. "Sir, why are you going to the capital?" You replied calmly. and 4 simple words made every survivor tremble inside. Ling Yuan excitedly took out a hand-drawn map. "Sir, can we come with you?" "Even if it's just to help a little." You glanced at them and mercilessly refused. "No need to take dead weight. You'll just slow me down." Then Haiming smashed the ground, carrying you as a black flash, charging toward the fortress city known as the Forbidden Zone. On the road to the fortress city, Haiming showed what it means to be a bulldozer. Faced with a giant monster blocking the path, Haiming couldn't even be bothered to approach.
He just opened his giant mouth.
Pitch-black flames crazily compressed, condensing into a terrifying fireball hundreds of meters wide, like a nuclear bomb slanting down. At the instant the fireball struck, everything within a radius of several kilometers, buildings and living things alike, was leveled to the ground, leaving behind only a charred vacuum zone. That arrogant monster didn't even leave behind ashes. Soon they reached the capital city. Here the gray mist was so dense it was almost impenetrable. Diana frowned. The aura here suppressed her holy power. Yet you didn't retreat. You pressed onward. Monster roars echoed all around. Countless massive black shadows wandered in the mist. Diana flew high into the sky. Her golden eyes blazed brightly. Since her holy power was suppressed, she decided to use the sun instead. Suddenly a blinding sun rose. Diana transformed into a majestic sun goddess. Brilliant golden light instantly pierced the gray mist, illuminating this dead city. Those monsters hiding in the darkness, under the golden light, their souls self-ignited, letting out piercing wails. But this was only the prelude. In the center of the city, beneath a pitch-black lake, true horror awakened. A roaring sound swept through the city. The lake water exploded. An ancient evil god, Ketenrue, burst out of the water, his entire body covered in crimson eyes and tentacles, radiating a maddening, ominous aura. With his appearance, all the monsters in the city howled and rushed toward you frantically. You immediately gave the order, "Black Demon, kill him." Then Haiming let out a brutality-filled roar, instantly activating his ultimate form. All 4 abilities triggered simultaneously. 4 talents fused. Heaven-shaking infernal thunder technique version. The ground shattered instantly. A terrifying force of suppression, mixed with a purple body of destructive lightning, slammed down on Ketenrue like the sky collapsing. This evil god was immediately pinned into the lake. Ketenrue was driven into a frenzy. A gray mark on his brow erupted, forcibly raising his fighting power to level 80. He swung his dried giant claw at Haiming. But Haiming didn't dodge or evade. Golden light flowed across his body, releasing absolute defense. At the same time, a deadly aura erupted in Haiming's gray eyes. Death double pupils activated. The area instantly became a gray death zone. Ketenrue was terrified to find his own life essence was being forcibly erased.
His so-called immortal body
Was actually a joke in front of these eyes. Before absolute power, so-called old ones. You teamed up with Haiming and easily completed the 3rd rank advancement mission. After leaving the Wuxian base, you rode Haiming at a gallop, finally returning to your familiar neighborhood. Looking at the banner at the gate that celebrated warmly, our district student Shan Tiansheng won the top scorer of Dongshan province. A long-lost warmth surged in your heart. Outside, you are the sovereign of the Sichuan otherworld. Here, you are just Chan Tiansheng. Just as you reached your doorstep, you heard a girl's excited scream coming from inside the house. "So handsome, so handsome." You pushed the door open and entered, only to see your younger sister, Chan Li, sitting on the sofa without any sense of decorum, staring intently at the silver-armored figure on the TV news. Her eyes were full of stars. As Chan Li watched, she even waved her fists. "From now on, there's no room for Chen Tiansheng in my heart. This silver-armored big brother is my idol." Standing aside, the corners of your mouth twitched slightly. You coughed twice, hearing the sound. Your sister Chen Li suddenly turned around, seeing it was you. The fanatical look on Chen Li's face instantly turned into anger. "Brother, you finally remembered to come back? I sent you so many messages and you didn't reply. And you didn't answer my calls. Are you trying to worry Mom to death? As for you, looking at yourself on the TV dominating the battlefield, You couldn't help but smile. Is there a possibility that I'm actually a little bit stronger than him? Chun-Li rolled her eyes dramatically. Bragging again. He defended a whole city by himself. Big foodie, you'd better just honestly be your summoner. Is that so? Your eyes turned playful. You snapped your fingers. Haiming, come out to meet our guest, Diana. After a sound, space fluctuated, and a miniaturized yet still imposing black Volf appeared out of thin air. Immediately after, a stunning and holy angel slowly descended. Her golden wings looked exceptionally dazzling in the living room. The air suddenly fell silent. Chun-Li's eyes grew wider and wider, her mouth hanging open wide enough to fit an egg. Chun-Li tremblingly pointed at Haiming and then at the TV. This fur color. This gaze. How is it exactly the same as on TV? With a thought from you. Silver butterfly turned into a stream of light covering your body. That familiar silver armor suddenly appeared before her eyes. You looked at your petrified sister and smiled. Let's get reacquainted. I am the person you were talking about. Treating him as an idol, while not wanting to recognize your own brother. What a family. Chun-Li lunged forward immediately, hugging you while pinching and poking. Brother, is it really you? My idol is actually my own brother. This intense sense of contrast and surprise made the young girl go completely wild. At that moment, the kitchen door was pushed open, and Mom ran out with a panicked expression. What happened? What happened? When she saw you wearing the silver armor, and those two mythical creatures in the room, the spatula in her hand fell to the ground with a clang. Tiansheng. This dinner was destined to be the liveliest one for the family. You didn't talk much about the dangers of the battle, but simply took out a bag of low-level life crystals that looked like jelly beans, and handed them to Chun-Li. Absorb these. They should help you awaken a decent talent. Looking at these priceless resources, Chun-Li's eyes turned red. Brother, these are very expensive, aren't they? You patted her head. Don't worry about it. Your brother is now as rich as a nation. Late at night, looking at your family's sleeping faces, you stood on the balcony, with Haiming lying at your feet, gazing at the peril-filled world outside. Becoming stronger is exactly for protecting these thousands of homes. The next day, you opened the system panel and entered the exchange list of the Frontline battlefield. The resources here were so abundant they made your head spin. Level 9 life crystals, rare skill books, and so on. You started a shopping spree like a nouveau rich. 50 magma stones, used to enhance the magma properties of silver butterfly, making the armor even more terrifying. 50 Ruyi crystals, stacking the size manipulation effect to 10 layers, allowing the war spear to extend and retract freely, killing enemies from thousands of miles away. Finally, you took a fancy to a heavenly mass divine stone priced at 10,000 contribution points. Just one piece adds 1,000 tons of weight. And it also comes with a shock reflection power. Without hesitation, you bought 10 pieces in one go. Now the weight of the silver butterfly armor will reach the 10,000-ton level with one strike of the spear, let alone giant beasts. Even mountain ranges would crumble. During your recovery at home, you consulted a large amount of data regarding plane tokens, but found nothing. Out of options, you contacted the newly ascended throne, Yang Zhao. What? A token for the Abyss plane? On the other end of the phone, Yang Zhao almost choked. Is that Volf of yours suicidal? That's a supreme plane, and it's currently the only ownerless supreme plane. Yang Zhao explained the brutal rules of plane tokens to you. When token holders meet, it's a fight to the death. The victor gains the opponent's authority and plane rewards. The loser's soul and body are extinguished. If it were a low-level plane, it wouldn't be so bad. The sensing range is small, but for a supreme plane like the Abyss, once the battle for sovereignty begins, those 10,000-meter-tall terrifying entities will cross the heavens to hunt down all token holders. Even powerhouses of the Heavenly King level would have to hide. Your scalp felt numb hearing this. It seems you can only keep a low profile and develop for now.